Hello and welcome back to Poll for Initiative, the tabletop role-playing stream where the audience influences the story. I am your dungeon master, Ben and/or Benjamin. It's as I am known on the internet, and with me I have Seth, otherwise known as MB Banshee, who'll be playing today as Lise DeForest. Go ahead and say hi to everyone, Seth.
Dungeon master.
Okay. All right. Let's see you do 41 episodes of that intro and not mess up a single time.
Give me a chance, buddy boy.
But welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all feeling excited for this episode. Hope everyone's all pumped up and ready. How are you feeling, Seth? And do you remember where we left off last time?
I'm not happy with you.
Okay. Why are you not happy with me?
You kill my dog.
Well, okay, first of all, you don't have a dog.
You kill my fox. He's the main character. You're not allowed to kill him.
Oh, Foxbud's the main character? Lisa's a side character.
Yes. These are the adventures of Foxbud.
Do you want to tell me how we got to this point?
No. You made me go into a scary mine.
I didn't make you do anything.
And there's
to be very
bunny,
clear.
Probably not confirmed, but a little bit confirmed because you titled the episode Cave Bunny. So, and then you made me fight these big blood crystal monsters, and I didn't know what was gonna happen.
I would like the record to show that I did not force Seth to do anything.
Okay, well, what was I gonna do? Not do any of that? What?
I mean, this is Dungeons and Dragons. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
I mean, this is untitled tabletop role-playing game.
It was like clearly the next step to go do. So shut up.
I have not actively done anything. I have just played out the story around.
Skirt the blame. Yeah.
But yes, we left off. You were victorious, and you had a dramatic moment where Lise discovered a new spell, and used it to obliterate the giant crystal mass that was dead set on absorbing her.
Well, I guess, because it wasn't a new spell, it was a new kind of magic. But I guess if you mean
narratively, you discovered a new spell.
Yeah, well, and I guess I did use disintegrate for the first time, so that
that's what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
but yes, you did discover the ability to use a new form of magic that you've never used before.
Yes. That I still don't know what it is. My guess is that it's like order magic, but I don't know anything. So
it's a very I will tell you, it's fucking pretty. And I think that's what really matters here.
Oh, the magic? Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's all we care about. It looks gay. Yeah. It's gay, man. It's the power of gay.
Very prismatic and patterned. But yes, we pick up where you left off in the mine shaft, illuminated in this like dim red glow. And that glow actually gets a bit weaker as you destroy this giant mass of blood crystals. It falls to pieces, and that feather is floating in midair about 40 feet off the ground above this like kind of pit. And you actually see the skeleton of that of what you have assumed thus far to be the wizard collapse to the ground along with the big pointy hat.
Oh shit, Cassandra, I gotta get that hat.
And all the crystals kind of almost seem like the rest of the crystals in this cave kind of like gently dim a little bit. It feels like the whole like chamber has like hit like a dimmer switch and gone to like 50% light. And it's actually kind of hard to see in here. You do have dark vision, so you are fully still able to see, but it's definitely dim now.
Guys, it's fine. I have dark vision.
I had to make sure there's at least one point during this campaign that you got to say that.
I'm pretty sure I've said it before, but I don't remember when. I don't remember when. I'm pretty sure both of them have dark vision too. Actually, I don't know about Helga, but Cassandra for sure.
Pretty much most species aside
Helga
from
has it
human.
too. We can all see just fine.
I've expressed my frustration with this as a feature many times because pretty much every race has it, and when every race has it, no race has it pretty much because it's just like a game feature now. We just said fuck humans.
Fuck humans, basically. Okay, so sorry, is the feather floating above where I killed this thing?
Yes, it's about 20 feet off from the ledge that like the nearest part of the ledge that you're currently standing on, and it's about 40 feet off the ground, kind of just arcing fire off. But really quick, I do want to say where we left off last time, you look over and you do see Foxbud looking rather gray, like he's kind of a blue gray now. And as he sees the last of these crystal masses collapse, he lays down.
I'm gonna cast levitate on myself.
Okay.
So I can go get the feather, and then I'm gonna cast mending on this bridge so that I can put it back together.
Okay. You do so, and you watch as this bridge, the like ripped ropes kind of slowly lift up into the air, and like the like individual strands retie around each other, and suddenly you have a fully functional bridge again.
Great. I float over just because if I can cast it for like 10 minutes. So who needs to walk? I float over to the middle pillar. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh no. Oh wait, can I get the hat too while I'm still floating?
Have you grabbed the feather?
Yeah, I got the feather.
Okay. You grab the feather and you quickly and deftly tuck it into the arcane phylactery, snapping it shut. And sure, you float down and you grab this big silly hat.
Hell yeah. I put it on.
Okay. You put on the big silly pointy hat.
Cassandra, look at my new hat. Anyway, Foxbud's dying.
She says, that's kind of the least of my worries right now.
Listen, I told that guy I'd get in the hat, and I got in the hat, all right? Okay, can I do like a medicine check? It's like, for sure, because he ate the blood crystals, right? But can I like make him throw up and see if maybe that'll help a little bit?
You actually don't even need to do a medicine check here, because as he's laying down, you see like more and more of this mist kind of like coming off of his body. He's becoming more and more transparent, and you can pretty clearly see a couple tiny pieces of blood crystal kind of lodged in between his teeth, but more importantly, you see a couple chunks that have gone into his stomach.
How do I
Foxbud has consumed a blood crystal.
I shove my hand down his throat and make him throw
up. As you're opening up his mouth to like try to get this blood crystal out, that mist is growing and growing and growing around you, and it's becoming hard to see in here. And you begin to realize that there is a figure approaching you.
Oh, shit. Okay, look, I know I messed up, all right? I shouldn't have let him bite it, and now you're gonna come take him away from me. Is that what this is? I'm sorry,
um,
okay? I didn't know what was going to happen, and I was busy running for my fucking life.
as you're saying that, Helga says, what are you talking about? And Cassandra says, yeah, Lisa, are you okay? And as they're saying this, their voices get more and more muffled. What are you talking about? What are you? And it becomes more and more difficult to hear them, and you realize that Cassandra and Helga are completely non-visible to you now, and you are in this collection of this mist all around you, and it's just that shadowy figure approaching you. And sure enough, as they approach and the mist clears around them, you see a mistwalker, but just one this time. You don't think you've ever seen them approach you with just one.
All right, so what's this? What do you want? It wasn't my it was my fault, and I will take the blame for it. But to be fair, I had a lot of other things going on. Okay, I can't watch everything that he puts into his mouth. All right, I'm
sorry. And as their face like comes into focus for you, you realize you think this is the same one of them who was communicating with you last time, the one that was leading the group.
If you're gonna keep meeting like this, you should at least tell me your name, right? Like, it's not fair that you know mine and I don't know yours.
They haven't even looked at you yet. They're looking down at Foxbud.
Okay, great. I understand that he's hurt, but ignoring me is kind of rude.
And you suddenly hear their voice in your head, and they say, "My apologies. We came as quickly as we could when we felt the disturbance.
Mm-hmm.
And we apologize for our comrades. We are stretched rather thin right now, so it will just be me for today."
Okay. So, I tried to make him throw up, and it didn't really work. So, what now?
They
also
kneeled.
What is your name?
They kneel down and they begin gently stroking Foxbud's head, and they say, "Yes, I suppose your kind does use names. Before the Mistwalkers, I was known as Elaine."
Elaine. Okay. Nice to meet you, Elaine.
And they are kind of cradling Foxbud's head now, and they say, "I'm not sure how I could sense Foxbud's distress so clearly. He's very unique, Foxbud. I knew that from the moment I met him, but I'm not sure why I have such a strong bond with him."
He's the chosen one. Have we not been over this? How many times do I have to tell you people? Why don't you listen to me?
They say, "You are correct in saying that it was a mistake to have Foxbud bite the blood crystal, yes. After all, he is a magic being, and therefore comprised mostly of magic energy. However, this is still perplexing." And you see, like, this genuine concern on their face is slowly morphing into confusion. And they say, "His body should be fighting this off, much like a virus, but it's not."
Interesting. Can you make him throw up? Maybe your hand will fit down there more.
They say, "I don't believe the cure for this will be quite so simple.
Well, I'm just saying it's probably not good to keep the crystals in there, right? Like getting them out is step one.
And as they're saying that, you can see like their hand is passing through the top of Foxbud's head more and more. They're trying not to do so, but Foxbud is becoming less and less composed. And they slowly reach their hand kind of through his side and grab the blood crystal and toss it to the side. And they say,
Gross.
the virus has already taken root.
Okay. And what is the medicine?
And they say, again, he should be capable of fighting this off himself. He's fully matured. The only thing that I can think of is perhaps he's not attuned to himself.
What does that mean?
He's a magical being. He should be capable of regenerating after this, but he's not. Something about his magic is in flux. How long have you known Foxbud for?
Forever.
I highly doubt that. Do you remember when you met Foxbud?
Fuck. God, you expect me to remember so fucking long ago. I don't know. When I was young, small, a long time ago.
They say, very well. So most of your life, then. Might you join
forever.
me? And they hold out a hand to you.
All right. Is my girlfriend going to be safe in this scary blood cave? Or, like, is this going to take long?
They say, I do not sense any immediate danger in the cave, no.
All right, but if I come back and I'm sorry, correction, my fiance. And if I come back and my fiance is fucked up, I'm going to be really mad, but okay. Should I take their hand?
Okay. And they look up from Foxbud and they say, I need you to trust me.
Well, I did, but now that was a little suspicious.
They say, if not because if not because you believe me when I say that I only want what's best for Foxbud, then believe me logically when I say that we have run every possible outcome, and any outcome in which we betray you ends in peril for all. There is no reason for me to betray you.
Okay, again, first of all, I didn't think you were going to. But now that you're being really weird about it.
They like kind of cock an eyebrow and they say, I do not understand. I am explaining precisely why you should trust me.
Yeah, it's just now that you said it, it's like, ugh. All right, I'll go, but keep your hands to yourself.
And they say, well, you will need to take my hand for this.
All right, but I'm engaged, so like.
They say, this is not a romantic gesture. This is a
platonic handhold. All right.
Is this a romantic gesture in your culture? Because it is not in ours.
Okay, I didn't ask. Can we go save my fox now? You're talking a lot.
And as you take their hand, Foxbud fades away. And that mist kind of dissipates and you're kind of in this black void now.
Oh, I don't like it here. Hey. Hey, it's dark in here and I'm scared of the dark.
They let go of your hand and stand up.
Sorry. Sorry, fucking Helios in the chat. No one cares. Plus didn't ask. Plus ratio. Plus L. Sorry.
God damn it. You are standing in this empty black void. You can't see like any ground underneath you. They've stood up next to you. You kind of see these like cracks like that are kind of in the void, these kind of like grayish whitish cracks in the void around you. And there's like this.
What happens if I stick my hand in here?
You can't reach out and touch any of them.
Oh fuck.
Those cracks kind of have this like chromatic aberration where like it's like that kind of blurry effect where you see like multiple of it in different colors. It's everything in here is like you have like a slight fog that's rising from the ground suddenly, which has also got that slight aberration to it. This whole place seems uneasy. And
hey, am I dead? Where are we?
And they are reaching their hand out but unable to touch anything, and they say, "We are in Foxbud's consciousness."
Oh, you could have told me that was where we were going.
And they say, "Foxbud is uncertain of himself, of something. Something is wrong with him, and I aim to find out what."
Okay.
And they say, "You said you've known him since childhood, yes?"
Yeah.
They hold out their hands into this void and are kind of like moving their hands around, like clearly trying to weave something in the air. And you start seeing like visions like kind of appearing in this void, kind of whisking by you. And you realize these are all visions through Foxbud's eyes. You kind of are rewinding through snippets of his memories. You see him guiding Penelope and Darren to the church where you resided, and they move their hands a bit more, and that memory is kind of discarded, and another comes up of Foxbud on the Scarlet Shark, but you're not there, and Helga and Cassandra aren't there, but Penelope, Darren, Oliver, they're all there, and they're fighting an orange ship. They shake their head and continue going back, and you see Oliver and Merlin, and you vaguely hear like a muffled voice of Oliver crying out, "Make sure nothing happens to Foxbud. Lise would kill me if something did." And you hear Merlin's voice muffled in the background crying out, "I don't know that we have much of a choice in controlling the old boy." And you see as Foxbud tackles an orange soldier and bites his throat before that memory also is pushed to the side.
This is like, hell yeah. Get him.
And they continue scrolling through these memories. You see Foxbud licking Merlin's face, and Merlin poring over scrolls at his desk, speak with animals, tongues, comprehend languages, all kinds of spells. And he's casting them all on himself and Foxbud, attempting to communicate with him, but nothing. He can't communicate with Foxbud. That memory is also discarded, and suddenly Foxbud is back in this wasteland around that the wasteland that existed around that church. He looks down at his paws, and you see that like they're kind of sooty and dirty. He's clearly been walking for some time now. And there's actually trees appearing around him. He's clearly walking like hundreds and hundreds of miles away. And he is found by Penelope and Darren.
Lisa's like, that whole time nobody picked him up and carried him around in the backpack.
Actually, you get the feeling this is the first time Foxbud had seen anyone that he recognized. He sees Penelope and Darren and rushes up to them and begins licking Penelope's face. And she scoops him up, and they rush back to a ship. And that memory is also pushed to the side, and you see another. And in this memory, you are not moving. You are still in that church, frozen in time. Foxbud's looking around, and he sees everyone isn't moving. And he licks your hand and paws at your leg. But you don't move. No one moves. Foxbud is alone. That memory is also pushed to the side, and as they do so, they actually turn to you and they say, "I'm very sorry that you have to see this."
I don't think she says anything.
They kind of give a knowing nod and go back to sorting through the memories. And you see more and more of these memories rushing back. Like they're trying to speed it up a bit because, they want to spare your feelings. But you see like tens, hundreds, thousands of memories just flying by as they rapidly rewind through all of your adventures with Foxbud. And suddenly, the memories are they slow down as the memories have been rewinded so far that you, Lise, are getting younger and younger. No longer are your friends, Helga, Oliver, Merlin, Cassandra, everyone from your adventure showing up, but suddenly it's you when you were a teenager, spending time in the Whispering Wood with Bramble and Fauna, all your Fae friends. And they keep rewinding. And you suddenly see the day you met Foxbud. Lise, you were outside of your house, sitting in the grass, crying. Something happened with your mother that day, something that upset you. It may have been something extreme, it may have been just the smallest little thing that just pushed you over the edge, but for some reason, Foxbud sees a tiny Lise crying in the grass. Why were you crying?
Oh, bitch, I don't know. Listen, her mom was straight up fucked up, I feel like there was definitely a lot of child abuse.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Well, I just mean like, when a boomer thinks it's okay to to slap your child, or like when people think spanking is okay, it's like, well, you're hitting your baby, but that's, okay. I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know. So.
You rack your brain for the specifics, but there were so many things, so many times when you were a child that your mother made you cry that as hard as you try to remember, you don't really remember what it was. All you know is it upset you. But what mattered more to you that day was what happened next. Because in this vision, you see Foxbud is running through the city streets, and he sees you and he stops and he perks up. Does that thing that dogs do where one paw is up and they're curious about something.
The one paw.
And this tiny little Foxbud, this little baby Foxbud, slowly approaches you.
Oh,
What did Lise do?
small baby. I feel like she's crying. She's got like her like knees up and like her like arms crossed, and she's like got her head down, and then she's like, I think that he like comes up to her and she's like looking down and she sees just suddenly like blue, and she's like like stops crying, you know, and like you're crying but then something so like shocking or like weird happens that you just like stop crying. I think she's like blue and like stops like looks up, sees the weirdest fucking little man she's ever seen in her life and is like ooh.
I think as she looks up, Foxbud stops in his tracks and you are both left staring at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Foxbud takes a single step forward.
I think Lisa, it's literally, it's that meme. What is wrong with you? Why are you blue? She's like, what? Why are you blue?
Foxbud kind of like does that thing where he cocks his head to the side and takes another little step forward. He's only a few little baby steps left.
They're both looking at each other like this. I think Lisa's just dumbfounded. Like, she's like, why is there? I feel like she's like hallucinating. She's like, did I cry so hard I started hallucinating?
And he takes a couple more small steps forward, and suddenly Foxbud is nuzzling young Lisa's hand with his nose.
Yeah, I think she reaches out and like touches him and is like, okay, you're real. All right. I think she picks him up. And it's literally the like her holding him.
When Lise picks him up, he actually panics a bit. And flails in her hands.
She says, oh no, and sets it back down.
His ears are kind of down and to the side, but he is fascinated with you.
I think she lays down, or no, I think she like gets onto all fours, because like she's a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's immediately like, this animal is my friend. She's just, you're my friend now. We're having soft tacos later. She gets on all fours and pretends to be a little fox like him.
And his ears kind of perk up a little bit, and he like wags his tail as she does that. But then suddenly his ears kind of shoot like aim in a different direction, and he perks his head up and he looks at little Lise and grabs her sleeve with and starts tugging on her.
She starts following him, still on all fours. She's like, okay, let's go play. I'm a fox too.
He encourages her to run with him, and Lise apparently, it sounds like, follows him.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, he leads her to the Whispering Wood, and you spend hours playing together in the forest.
I feel like she gets to the edge of the forest and goes, I'm not supposed to go in here. and then does it anyway.
And he encourages her to chase him, and
Foxbud, the original bad influence.
And he seems to love being chased by little Lise, and you do that for hours. And they Elaine turns to you and they say, interesting. So this is when you met.
Lisa's like had forgotten that memory and is like watching her younger self run around and pretend to be a fox, and is like the tips of her ears are red, and like she's like like turn it off.
They say, it seems you had forgotten about this memory, but I can assure you this memory was incredibly strong for Foxbud.
Well, it's not that I didn't remember it, it's just that, maybe I'd forgotten certain aspects of it.
They say, of all the memories that we've looked through so far, this is easily the clearest. This was a formative moment for Foxbud.
I mean, he was very young, and we've not been apart since then. Well, until. Anyway. What does this have to do with anything?
They rewind that memory just a little bit to the point where Foxbud's ears perked up while he was sitting with Lise. And they say, I don't think this is the whole story. And they push the memory to the side. And they have another memory to pull up. And this one is bizarre because Foxbud is in a room that you've never seen before. He's in this like room with there's a globe in one corner, there's telescopes in another, there's all kinds of crystals in jars and tomes spread everywhere, and there are a handful of elves surrounding him, and they all look at him dumbfounded. And one of them says, "What is that?" And the other says, "I don't know. I didn't expect that to happen." And another says, "Look, the mist in the jar, it's gone." And another says, That's impossible. It hasn't dispersed in years, in decades, in millennia." And they all start moving toward Foxbud. Clearly nervous, unsure what to do, but one of them is attempting to grab him. And Foxbud doesn't like this. Foxbud jumps away, and another says, "Quick, grab him!" And Foxbud bolts out of this room. And you hear a alarm ring out in this building, and you see elves scrambling in the hallways as Foxbud is bolting through rooms, and he sees an open window and jumps out and literally goes like just above an elf's hand as they reach out to grab him. And he lands in the grass, and he continues sprinting. There are elves behind him in the streets. "Get him! Don't let him get away!" Muffled in the background, calling out after him. And you feel this like sort of panic in the room, in this room of like his consciousness, as he's desperately trying to get away. He doesn't even seem to know why. He feels confused. He feels disoriented, but all he knows is he needs to get away. And this memory ends with him spotting Lise crying. some 30 minutes later. And Elaine looks perplexed. And they push that memory to the side. And they continue weaving. And then suddenly you notice that there's a lot of blackness coming back. There's just empty void coming back as they continue to weave. And they say, that doesn't make any sense. Foxbud was not separated from the herd yet. He would have had to have been. And they continue weaving for a long time, and nothing comes up. Just blackness. And suddenly, something seems to dawn over Elaine. And their eyes get wide.
Well, don't keep it to yourself. Hello? Did you forget that I was here too? I can't read your mind.
They've stopped moving and their eyes are wide and they just seem stunned. And they say, no, that's impossible.
What?
That's impossible.
Don't start talking like I know what you're talking about.
They have fully tuned you out, Lise. They are fully focused on something right now, and they begin weaving faster and faster, and like these like black clouds are rushing past you. You actually kind of feel like a jolt as they speed up. You feel like you're flying 1,000,000 miles an hour suddenly.
Oh my God, slow down! Help!
You feel like wind is rushing past you as they furiously weave through these memories. And then suddenly, a memory comes up that isn't just blackness. And a lot of things are wrong here. So, first of all, the first thing you notice is in this memory, Foxbud is looking at his feet, and his paws are purple, not blue. And you hear voices, one of which is Elaine's. And Elaine is arguing with someone, and Foxbud looks up, and you see this like magical barrier around him, and a handful of elves sustaining that magical barrier around him. And you hear Elaine call out, "They are our friends! They saved us! And you repay them like this!" And some very important, like, elvish commander with this, like, these like, very, like wooden vines and, ornamented with, like, leaves, like, giant pauldrons and a large cape, calls back, "We need the exiles. Without a connection to the outside world, we are lost." And Elaine calls back, "They are our connection. Fenrir is the leader of their pack. They will never forgive you, and neither will we." And that important-looking commander calls back, "If he's as powerful as you say, imagine the control we'd have over the mists. We could defeat the Empress. We could defeat Orin." And Elaine throws his hand out and says, "Stop this madness! You've taken enough life!" And that commander calls back, this time turning his head toward Foxbud and the other elves, holding him in place, and says, "Take the beast to the observatory." And suddenly, Foxbud seems to relax in this memory. He seems to kind of attempt to sort of lay down and relax, and his paws are in his line of sight, and you see cracks forming over the surface of his purple paws, light escaping through and mist filling the bubble. And he closes his eyes, and suddenly that chromatic aberration begins appearing where strange colors are appearing, everything's getting fuzzy, and you hear a muffled Elaine in the distance say,
Fenrir! What are you doing? Fenrir, no!
And the memory ends. And as it fades to black, you see Elaine has fallen to their knees.
Okay. So what the hell was that?
And Elaine doesn't answer. There are tears on their face. This is the first time you've ever seen one of the Mistwalkers show any emotion.
Lisa's really uncomfortable. She's like, um, uh, like I feel like she's used to crying and she is not used to other people crying. And like especially someone who has not really shown emotion before. And so I think that she just really doesn't know what to do. She's like, listen, um, okay, you can cry. That's fine. Crying's good. I cry all the time, right? Okay. Don't tell anyone that though, because I'm strong.
Lise has to save face.
Yeah, I'm pretty big and strong.
You're like flexing while you're saying this.
Liz is like, yeah, I'm pretty strong. Even though I cry, crying's pretty strong. Actually, it's pretty strong of you to cry.
Looks at her -1 in strength. Lux is calling Lise out.
Shut up. She's strong on the inside.
I think your muscles are on the inside, so technically no.
You shut up too. I think that she just keeps talking until this person stops crying.
And they say, it makes sense. This is why I feel a connection with him. Foxbud is Fenrir.
And who is that?
They seem to be trying to compose themselves. And then they say, Fenrir was my best friend.
Oh. Okay.
And they say, Fenrir was... He was the Il-Sahan that bonded with me.
Oh.
And was the first of their kind to ever trust the elves. Fenrir was the patriarch of their pack.
Okay. So how did he end up as my little blue fox friend?
They say, I'm fuzzy on the details, but Fenrir destroyed himself in order to prevent the elves from having their way. And they slowly stand up and they say, "Do you remember all those years ago when I first approached you and I told you that people would attempt to steal Foxbud's power?"
Yep.
They say, "I didn't explain the full story for fear of ever bringing it back, but do you know where exiles come from?"
Does she? Would she know?
She's certainly never been told.
No. Why? How would I know that? Is that something I'm supposed to know?
They say, "In a way, you've been traveling with a sort of exile this entire time. Exiles are the souls of the Il Sahan."
Oh. That's messed up.
And they bow their head down and they say, "When the Il Sahan, the Mist Foxes, approached us and befriended us, they helped us during the first Orin conquest. In fact," and they chuckle a bit and they say, "Fenrir was the one who bit off the hand of Tyr."
What?
Surely you've heard the legends. The mighty wolf that bit off Tyr's right hand. Well, it wasn't a wolf. It was a mist fox.
Hell yeah.
And they say, go ahead.
No, at least it's just like stunned and then like so proud.
And they say, "Fenrir and his pack were the ones who helped us create the Misty Isles. They helped us save the elves from the Orin wrath. We trapped ourselves to save ourselves, and for a time, things were good. But as I'm sure you're aware, people crave power, and this is not specific to any one culture, people, creed. They wanted more control over the mists. This isolation did not serve the elven people, and some Manakatsir scientists discovered a new way to control the mists, a way in which they did not require the friendship of the mist foxes."
But their souls?
Precisely. At first, we had no idea. We were investigating the disappearances of so many mist foxes. Eventually, we realized what had happened. They were being abducted, stolen, when no one was looking. We had traitors in our midst. A civil war nearly broke out. And then they captured Fenrir, the most powerful of the Mist Foxes. They aimed to create the largest exile of them all, one that could create a gateway for multiple ships at a time, multiple people at a time. And Fenrir denied them that possibility. But what I never understood was Fenrir intentionally was captured. And as they're saying all that, you notice another form in the mist, a black silhouette approaching you.
Is
This
it a
one
person?
Does not look humanoid.
Does it look like it's gonna hurt me?
It looks like a very large fox.
Oh, God. Well, okay, how big?
Bigger than you. Easily.
Oh, big. Huge.
And as that silhouette comes closer and you can make out what the form actually is, you see it's a large purple fox with white eyes.
Holy shit, you're huge! I turned to Elaine. I could ride that for sure. Did you ever ride? Did you ever get on and go for a ride?
Elaine chuckles and reaches out a hand, which Fenrir nuzzles with his nose, and he says, "Yes, Fenrir and I had rode into battle many times together."
Shit.
And
big.
You suddenly hear this like booming voice kind of all around you, but definitely in your mind, as another voice says, "Do you understand now, Elaine?"
I'm sorry. Can he talk?
As you think that thought, it turns to you and says, "Yes, I can talk," in your mind.
You can talk?
And Fenrir, this massive giant purple fox, turns to Elaine and says, "She isn't very quick on the uptake, is she?"
Hey! All right. Well, fuck you too.
And you see
So fucking offended.
You see like how dogs, when they smile, like they open their mouth a little bit and their like cheek curls up. Fenrir points his nose toward Lise, offering you to reach your hand out as well.
Okay, not after you just insulted me, first of all. I mean, she like looks away, like kind of mad, but then without turning around, she reaches her arm out and touches it.
And Elaine says, "You knew that all of this was going to happen. You knew, even then?" And Fenrir slowly nods their large head, and he says, "Yes." And Elaine says, "So you can come back. You can come back now. It's everything that needed to happen has happened. And you can come back." And Fenrir says, "You know this is not true." And Elaine says, "No, you can come back. You have to come back."
This is not my conversation. She's like scoots away a little bit, like I shouldn't be here for this. This is between you.
That last time, Elaine was no longer speaking telepathically and actually spoke out loud. And Fenrir says, "Elaine, you can divine the fates as well. You know the answer." And Elaine is crying again.
This is like, not the crying.
And Elaine says, but it's not fair. You have to come back. Please. And Fenrir moves his nose to Elaine again, into the palm of Elaine's hand, and says, I am sorry.
I feel like Lisa's standing there like that meme that's like, or not that, I don't know, just standing like very still and tall, like really like uncomfortable and like this is clearly between you and I should not be here for this.
And Elaine's hand slowly falls to their side, and they say, I'll never forget you. And Fenrir says, and I you. And you see a third figure in the fog, this time much smaller than Fenrir, approaching. And you realize you would recognize this silhouette anywhere. It's Foxbud.
Oh, Foxbud, there you are. Can you talk also? Don't start talking to me, please.
And he's tiny, as small as he was when you first met.
Oh.
And he comes running up to you.
Little. I think she'd like just, even without like I kind of like not even really like thinking about it, like just very instinctively, she's done it so many times. Or he runs up to her and she just picks him up.
He actually leaps into her arms. I feel like maybe you've rehearsed this before. You know, you hold out your hands and he jumps into your hands
Yes.
and immediately begins licking your face.
All right, okay. I know I was crying, and I know you like the taste of salt, but please.
He will not stop. He is so excited to see you. And anytime you try to pull away, he squirms to get closer and lick your face more.
All right,
and
I'm so
as he's doing this, he's actually growing in your arms and
getting heavier.
Not here. He doesn't feel quite as heavy here.
Okay.
But he does come back to his normal, mature form.
Well, okay. Now I have some questions though. So what the hell?
And Fenrir looks to you and says, I am more than happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I hold out Foxbud. I'm like, if this is you, but that's also you, what the
hell? He says, I am not Foxbud.
Okay.
And they say,
I see like your like reincarnation or like what?
That is one way to look at it. I am sort of like an ancestor to Foxbud.
Okay, like he came from your mist, but he is not you?
Yes, precisely.
Okay. Does he have I look out at him, are you gonna get that big?
Fenrir does that like sort of like dog smile again and says, he will need to get quite old to reach my size.
But you're saying that he could get this big.
And he says, technically speaking, yes, he is the child's, well, child is the wrong word, but the inheritor of the patriarchal energy.
Okay, is he gonna turn purple too, or what?
That I don't know.
Okay. Is he as powerful as you, or will he become? can he bite Tyr's other hand? Which, by the way, a huge fan of that. By the way,
Lisa's like, I'm your biggest fan
Huge
right now.
fan.
Can I get your
Huge
autograph?
I would love to kill Tyr, but if he could bite off Tyr's other hand, that would just be so good for me. Like, I think that would be really cathartic for me to watch and to see.
And Fenrir responds, that is up to Foxbud. Foxbud will need to grow his strength like any Il-Sahan.
Is that something that, like, he has to do alone? Or is there, like, training that he can do that, like, I can be a part of? Or is it, like, solely a him thing?
It's difficult to describe to someone who is not a mist fox, but much of an Il-Sahan's growth is related to emotional maturity. After all, I'm sure you've realized now, Foxbud was not able to recover from his ailment due to his own disconnect with himself.
Right, that is okay. Right, I feel like I am getting ahead of myself. Actually, we are here because he's like dying, right? Is he? How do I help that? How do I fix that? Actually, is that being fixed now, or what's happening?
He looks around this like void space, and you can actually see a lot of those cracks in the air slowly mending. In this like chromatic aberration you are noticing, you haven't seen it for a minute. And Fenrir says, I think he is on his way.
All right. So do we just stay in here and then what about the prophecy? I turn back to Elaine. Cause you said a lot of things. You told me about the prophecy, which so vague, by the way. I still have no idea what I'm actually supposed to be doing about that. But you told me that he was important to it, right? So, like, what about that?
Elaine is having a hard time composing themselves. And Fenrir says...
Themselves.
Huh?
You said themselves.
Yeah, Elaine.
Themselves.
Whatever. And Fenrir says, please forgive Elaine. They are grappling with a very difficult experience right now. I am more than happy to answer. My guess
all right.
would be that Elaine and the other Mistwalkers have hidden some truths from you on the simple fact that telling you these things would doom this world.
And do you know how annoying that is? Like, you have to understand that's so annoying. As the person who is supposed to save the world, that is so annoying.
He nods his large head and he says, the fates have never been kind. They are known for being cruel and unjust and confusing.
Yeah, I've learned. I know. I know that. I know.
And he says, unfortunately, knowing too much could cause you to avoid certain hardships that will be necessary.
Oh, don't say that.
But if you avoid those hardships, then reality itself is doomed.
All right. Well, I guess.
And Fenrir says, however, there are some things that the fates have shown us since then that we can tell you.
Okay. Yeah. What's that?
The first is that there is no one villain in this story. There is no one puppet master. There are many. It is an intricate web of countless villains and people being deceived.
Fair enough. I mean, I've fought a lot of different people, so I guess that makes sense.
And he says, I would assume by now that you consider the Orin Emperor to be one of your greatest, if not the greatest enemy you have.
There is what I consider tier above him. And there's this other guy named Varric who is gonna get what's coming to him. But the Emperor, the Emperor's gonna die. And there's also this vampire, but the Emperor, he's gonna die for sure.
And Fenrir says, understand that the Emperor is not acting alone, despite what he may think.
Interesting. And you can't. I assume you can't tell me who he's working with.
All villains in this story are being deceived.
By each other?
By each other, by themselves. It's hard to say for sure.
Okay, because if they're all being, I don't know. The way you said there's not one big, like, puppet master, but then you were like, but everyone's being deceived, and it's like, okay, well, you make it kind of sound like there's, like, somebody behind the scenes.
To explain, the reason we cannot say for sure is because this prophecy is a vast web. We, and by we, I mean the Mistwalkers, have considered killing many members of this story in order to prevent the apocalypse. But every time one of those fates is plucked, the web falls apart and reality is destroyed. One of which was you. And Fenrir looks to Elaine and then back to you and says, the Mistwalkers did consider killing both you and Foxbud to prevent the apocalypse.
They could try. I mean, nothing is stopping them. I guess other than the end of the world, but they're welcome to try. Listen, I'm not going to tell you not to kill me. I'm just saying good luck. I'm just saying best of luck to you.
And he says, they will not, because this too ended in the collapsing of reality.
You're damn right it did.
And he says, no amount of assassination, diplomacy, or deception will get us out of the apocalypse. The single through line that we have is you and Foxbud.
Damn, you hear that? We are the chosen ones. I've been telling them. I've told them. I get really close. I grab his really big face. And I've tried to tell them. Okay, is his name Fenrir? Or it kind of sounds like you. Okay, to me, when you first were saying it, it sounded like you were saying like Fenrir, but you were just saying Fenrir.
Fenrir.
Yeah. She says Fenrir. I tried to tell them. Have you seen everything that Foxbud has seen? Do you know? I've tried to tell them, and they just wouldn't listen to me. Over and over again, I've said how important he is, but goddamn nobody will listen to me.
And Fenrir nods gently and says, you will need to forgive them for this minor oversight. I intentionally hid that my essence made up Foxbud.
Damn. All right. Well, you didn't hide it well enough, because I knew. All right. I knew right away that he was special. You can't hide that shit from me. Okay, so what? Okay, so there's not just one person, and they're all being deceived. Was there anything else that you could tell me? Or was
He
it just those
says, he says, unfortunately, no. But understand this much. We don't fully understand the picture either. All we know is that if you know more, then your through line also collapses.
Oh. Okay.
And
Well.
they nod he nods his big head and he says, I apologize. I recognize this must be quite frustrating.
Listen, nothing about my life in the last couple of months, I guess the last 5 years apparently, has been anything less than extremely annoying and complicated. So that's not really your fault, I guess. Hey, so the Ilsahad are being forced to be exiles, right? The spirits are forced through the mist and are like, that's a bad thing, right? What do I do about that? Can I make the mist go away, or is that bad? How do I release the spirits of the Ilsahad?
He says, unfortunately, I'm not sure if the spirits of those who have been lost can be saved at this time.
Well,
However,
if I get rid of the mist,
I am fully confident that no additional Ilsahan have fallen victim since my demise.
right? But like, it's still not cool that they're doing that. So I gotta stop that.
And he says, I have my opinions, however, influencing you is not something that I should even consider doing.
I'm not asking for any of that. I'm saying, how do I get rid of it? Because that's not cool. And I'm not gonna just be okay with that.
And he says, again, I'm not sure how to save them. However, I will say, I don't think any elves that live today even know how the exiles are made. However, the fact that Foxbud was reborn, in a phrase, suggests that perhaps someone may have attempted something similar with my mists.
Right. Okay. Well, to me that sounds like I gotta go back to Tiel and Rune and kick some ass. So I'll mark that down on my to-do list.
And he says, I know that you will do the right thing, Lise.
Kill the elves who are doing that.
And
just so we're clear, like,
Fenrir turns back to Elaine, who has since composed themselves but is now completely silent. And he says, I won't remain here much longer. Foxbud is waking up.
Is he gonna be okay now? I won't let him eat the blood crystals anymore.
And he says, with enough time and with enough love, I am certain that Foxbud will be all right.
Okay. Because if he dies, I'm taking this whole world down with me.
And Fenrir says, yes, that was one of the possible outcomes we saw. Should Foxbud die, reality does collapse. And Not before you do cause a significant amount of suffering.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. Okay? I don't know. Why do we have to have this conversation every single time that I talk to you fucking people? If Foxbud, something bad happens to him, I'm going to end this goddamn reality myself.
And Fenrir says, yes, please do not do this.
Well, I've already promised it, so I can't really go back on it now. But fear not, I shall save the world, probably.
And he is slowly fading away.
Oh, wait.
And-
Hey, are you going to be... Is this the last time I'm ever going to get to talk to you? Or are you always going to be in here? And I point to Foxbud's big head.
Fenrir says, it is time that I moved on. And Elaine says, please, you can still come back. And Fenrir slowly turns away and says, I'm sorry, my friend. I too will never forget you. And Fenrir walks into the distance and slowly turns into a silhouette and slowly fades away.
Lisa's like, in her head, she's like, this is so awkward. Like, I didn't know I was getting in the way of two, like, I don't know. And she's like, well, thanks for your help. This
Elaine,
has been a very enlightening experience.
And Elaine turns to you with sincerity in their eyes and says, please, just don't let Fenrir's sacrifice be in vain.
Okay. I was going to say, if you were straight up about to be like, take care of him, I was going to hit you because I don't know. I can't keep having the same conversation with you fucking people.
Oh my God. Lisa's in a fully, like, I will show no emotion this entire exchange.
I think she's straight up just uncomfortable. Like, she gets it. Like, I think that she does, like, she feels bad about this whole situation, but she is also really fucking tired of these people being like, take care of Foxbud. And she's like, I can't keep having the same conversation with you.
After Elaine says, please don't let Fenrir's sacrifice be in vain, that sort of effect happens where like reality begins slowly stretching, and Elaine like kind of like stretches into the distance and like kind of fades away, and you feel like you're rushing backwards and wind is flying through your ears. And Foxbud in your arms has his ears down as he looks in the direction of where Elaine and Fenrir stood. And he whines gently and then looks up at you.
I do that thing where I blow a raspberry into the side of his face.
And he perks up and licks your face a bit. And he too slowly fades away. And then suddenly you're standing in this cave again, in this mine shaft, and your arms are outstretched as if to hold Foxbud, but nothing is there. And you're standing about 5 feet away.
She's like rushing back into like her body or whatever. I feel like the force of it like knocks her on her ass. She's like, Jesus Christ.
And you are kind of standing like 5 feet away, like Helga and Cassandra are kneeling next to Foxbud. Cassandra says, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And Helga says, CPR, we give CPR. And suddenly Foxbud's head perks up.
I feel like Lise like was fully prone and then just sits straight up. And it's like, he's fine.
And Foxbud stands up meekly, and he gently limps over to you, Lise.
I pick him up and I take a piece of cloth and I make like a baby swaddle. I strap him to my chest like a baby Bjorn.
He is still heavy now, like in
I don't care.
reality.
I don't care.
You pick up this very large boy and attach him to your chest. You're kind of like leaning back like this in order to hold him. In fact, give me a strength saving throw.
Awesome. Oh no. Natural 2 minus 1.
You wrap him up and then lift him up to hold him to your chest and immediately stumble back onto your ass. And he weakly licks your face.
I'm like, Cassandra. Cassandra, help.
Cassandra walks over and picks him up and attaches the cloth around her chest and holds him.
There you go.
He licks her face too.
Your other mom has got you now. Okay. I'm like, okay, so I was totally right, and none of you bitches believed me. And I tell them everything that happened.
And Helga says, you left? You were here the whole time, standing still.
I left in my mind.
And Cassandra says, so he's gonna be okay then? He's fine.
We need to give him a lot of love. Okay, the prescription from Fenrir was love and attention and probably some training. And then he'll be good. And also no more eating the blood crystals.
And Helga knocks her boots together and salutes you and says, Helga will make sure friend get better.
Yeah. Oh, she looks at Foxbud like, oh god, you're gonna be under like a military routine. But it's okay, because it'll probably be good for you.
And Cassandra actually turns to look at the entrance where you guys came in through, and she says, we also noticed that black fog disappeared.
It did?
You turn to that cave behind you, that mine shaft behind you, and it looks dark, but it doesn't have that like same inky black fog around it.
I feel like Lisa's happy, but a little unsettled. She's like, well, okay, but where did it go?
And Cassandra says, I'm not really sure.
Okay, well, let's destroy this cave and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Sound good? Great.
Cassandra says, the sooner we can be out of here, the better, in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, Cassandra, you can do earthquakes, right? Can you make an earthquake so that nobody can come in here anymore? Because these blood crystals gotta go.
She can I think she maybe does have a spell called like earthquake or something, yeah?
Yeah, something like that. Just destroy this whole cave soon. Because this is the only place you can get Voidite. And so it's like, I want to make it hard for them to come in here, but I also don't ever want anyone to come into this room ever again.
Earth tremor is what she can do. don't know that it'd be a large enough area to collapse this whole room. Keep in mind, it's like hundreds and hundreds of feet in each direction.
Well, she has a 6th level.
Okay.
Which I guess isn't, a bigger range, but it's more damage. Maybe if she can cast it on like a central beam somewhere that's like holding up a bunch of stuff.
She says, let's just close the entrances. That'll at least slow them down.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Maybe collapse some of the tunnels along the way.
And she says, but to be clear, we do gotta be inside for that. And Helga, oh, of course, natural 20. She lifts both of you onto her shoulders. And she says, tell Helga where to run.
That way.
And Cassandra says, why do I always end up in these situations?
Let's go.
And Helga begins running you guys out of this mine shaft, and Cassandra says, I don't like this, and she bangs on her drum a bit, and some of these caverns begin falling around you, and like you feel like pebbles like hitting your head and like your shoulders and stuff as Helga is sprinting at an alarming speed out of this mine shaft.
Hell yeah.
And after what feels like a fraction of how long it took you to get in here, Helga sprints out of the entrance, and Cassandra spends one final spell slot to collapse the very entrance to the mine shaft. And to do all that, I used up her spell slots aside from 1st and 2nd level. And Helga like bursts through a cloud of dust and pebbles, and you all emerge pretty much unscathed, and one final boulder hits the ground behind you to the entrance of this mine shaft.
This is like, whoo! Do not go in there.
And Cassandra says, Did you fart? What?
No.
That's what that normally means, is that it's stinky in there.
Oh, well, no, there's death in there. That's so much worse, Cassandra.
Babe, normally when people say, oh, don't go in there, that means like they blew up the toilet, like.
Okay, not at all where we were going.
And she says, oh my God, Lise farted.
All right, yeah, I guess I did. Sorry.
And Helga says, yes, Helga smelled weird smell in there. Lise definitely farted.
Damn. No, my thoughts are like explosive, actually, because you see, it's like almost like gunpowder because I'm Pod Phoenix. So it's kind of like you would know if it was me, okay? Anyway, I bet it was. I bet Elisa's like, I bet it was Elaine. Anyway.
Cassandra turns to Helga and says, yeah, no, it was definitely her.
Okay, anyway.
She definitely farted back there, Helga.
I jump off Helga. I'm like, okay, weird old man, I got you your hat.
And you see that same weird old guy picking through the like abandoned mine supplies with this cart. And he says, well, boy, howdy, I didn't think you'd be coming back out of there.
Yeah, well, now nobody can go in there, so. But I take the hat off and I put it on his head. I'm like, there you go.
And he adjusts it and he says, "Well, boy, howdy, I look like a proper upstanding gentleman."
Yes, sir. And now your toad can have a new place to sit under.
He actually takes off that stovepipe cap that he had and puts on this new one. And he says, "What do you think, Bloatus? You like it?" And Bloatus does that same with his throat.
He loves it. All right, weird old man. I'll be off now. Never to see you again. Goodbye.
Okay, weird young lady.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, we head back to the ship.
And the rope ladder that was dangling from the sky is still dangling right where you left it.
I climb it.
You guys climb up. Cassandra actually hands Foxbud to Helga to climb up.
Well, no, just put him in my backpack again. Just Foxbud, make yourself small again. Come on.
He becomes small, but still just as heavy. Give me another strength save
Well,
as they plop him in your bag.
But he always sits in my backpack. He was in my backpack the entire way in the mine.
You're on the rope ladder right now.
Oh, that's right. No, that's not good. 6.
You fall right back off the rope ladder.
All right, fine. Helga, you take him. You go first.
And Cassandra, under her breath, says, "I tell her every single time, but she never listens to me."
Shut the hell up, Cassandra. Shut the hell up.
And you all ascend into the clouds, and then pull up the rope ladder after you, and you are back aboard the Shifting Tempest.
Artemis, you'll never fucking believe what was in that cave. Where are you?
I assume you go below deck. You actually find but before you go below deck, something appears on the main deck, above deck.
Who?
And it's a form you recognize, actually. But you're not really clear on like why it's appearing before you. You recognize this is Shade.
Oh, from the Obsidian Brotherhood?
From in the Cursed Crag when you were going to the Obsidian Brotherhood. This was the same like strange figure that appeared before, and pointed you in the direction of where you needed to go.
What the hell are you doing here?
It's reaching out that long sleeve again to point somewhere in the distance. Its form is like really wiggly, and like not fully composed, and it's like pointing urgently.
Cassandra, do you think I should trust this?
And Cassandra says, I mean, I'm not sure, but, I mean, it hasn't led us astray before.
But who sent it?
And it, is getting fainter, and it lowers its arm, and instead seems to be trying to conjure something. And some kind of magic aura is appearing on your ship, but it's just not... It's like he's trying to cast a spell, right? It's trying to form something here, but it can't. It, like, the hooded form seems to look up. You still can't see a face. You just see shadow under the hoods. And it slowly vanishes.
Oh. What direction was it pointing?
You think it was pointing vaguely west, but you're uncertain exactly.
From where we are now? Okay. Well, I guess I just tell the Tempest, like, maybe head west, and we'll keep an eye out.
And you write that in the book, it disappears, and the words, "Do you have a destination in mind?" appear.
Not unless you can tell me where that shade came from. Just west for now.
And those words vanish, and the word "shade?" appears on the page.
Did you feel it? It doesn't have feet. Did you feel a new presence on the ship? On
The
yourself?
word "no" appears.
Okay. Well, interesting. It doesn't count as a. It doesn't count as like a presence or like a person. Okay. I write Caliban, perhaps?
And those words disappear, and it says, "Do you mean New Orin? We are not welcome there."
I write, it's Caliban. Fuck New Orin. I know we're not welcome there. Maybe just head west, Tempest, and I'll let you know.
Those words disappear, and the word "okay" ... appears slowly and then fades away. You feel like the shifting tempest is unclear on what's going on.
Well, it doesn't need to know. I'm like, all right, Helga, you stay out here, and if you see that thing again, come let me know, okay?
She says, "Yeah, sure." And
No,
she's like
I said-
looking around.
I said Helga.
Oh, Helga. She says, very well. Helga. Wait, no. Helga have to nurse friend back to health."
Yeah, you take care of Foxbud.
She runs below deck to put him to bed.
He's gonna take a little nappy nap. All right. Cassandra, let's go to the mirror, and catch up with Oliver.
She says, all right. And as you're heading below deck, you actually run into Zachary.
Oh, hey.
And he's carrying something. And he actually has something for you, Lise. And chat is going to help me decide what. Chat, it's poll time. Zachary has something for Lise. Is it something sweet or something savory? 1 in chat for sweet, 2 in chat for savory.
Is it food? I'm scared to eat something that Zachary is going to give me.
Looks like a perfect split.
Well, we can always flip a coin or roll a dice.
It's looking like sweet.
Okay. Hey, I like sweet. Nothing wrong with sweet.
Zachary is wearing like an apron and has 2 cooking mitts on, or 2 baking mitts on, and has a tray of thumbprint cookies with jam in the center.
Oh.
And he says, hey, Lise, you're back.
Hey, yeah, a lot of bad shit happened to that mine.
He says, well, it seems I baked a little extra, so, hey, help yourself if you want.
Thank you? Where did you... Do we have a kitchen on the Shifting Tempest?
He says, well, of course, I'm not just gonna let my husband go hungry.
Well, did you bring the kitchen? I don't remember having a kitchen.
And as you look over his shoulder, you see that back part of the ship now has even more clutter. as it has like a little cooking station and like kind of cleaning supplies and stuff right next to where Artemis was situated.
Son of a bitch. All right, like take a handful of cookies and shove them in my mouth.
You gain 5 thumbprint cookies, and each of these can grant you +5 temporary hit points. They do not stack with each other, though.
Okay. Thank you.
And he says, "What, do you want me to just not cook for Zachary? Do you know how he eats when he doesn't have a home-cooked meal?"
Artemis.
Or Artemis?
No, I don't, but I can imagine if it's anything like how he lives.
He like leans into you, like closer to your ear, and he says, "Listen, he doesn't like me bringing this up, but I went out of town for 1 week, and I found out he survived the entire time on peanuts. Literally, he ate peanuts the whole time."
Peanuts? Oh my god, Zachary, Artemis needs help.
And he says, "Yeah, so of course I'm gonna bring cooking supplies. Come on."
Okay, fair. Well, thanks. Anyway, a bunch of really bad shit happened. And I gotta go talk to Oliver now. Hey, if you see a scary shade in a dark cloak pointing somewhere, will you let me know?
And he says, "Sure. Is that a thing that happens here sometimes? You just see weird figures?"
It happened a few seconds ago, so I guess so.
He says, "Great, now we're haunted too. Fantastic."
Well, last time it led me somewhere that we wanted to go, and so I'm gonna go talk to Oliver now. I swipe another cookie and shove it in my mouth.
Gain 5 temporary hit points, and he kind of like moves toward the back of the ship again, and he's mumbling under his breath, and he's like, "God damn it, Artemis always getting me these weird situations, and now we're haunted. Now we got a ghost on the ship. Fantastic. Great. I love all these adventures that Artemis brings me on."
Ghost ship. I write in the book, Tempest, I think you might be haunted.
The words, "That sounds bad," appear, and then how do we banish it?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
And the words, "You have a skill for conveying information in the most disturbing way possible," appear on the page.
Oh, sorry. I draw a heart.
And the Tempest returns a hyper realistic drawing of a human heart.
Lisa's like, yes. And then goes down to talk to Oliver.
And you head into the captain's quarters. And you actually see Artemis looks a little better rested and is working at their desk right now. Or I say Artemis, I meant Oliver.
There's a lot of people.
A lot of awe names.
That's true.
Artemis,
hey, but you did that.
Oliver.
You did that to yourself. Okay. That one, that's no one's fault but yours. Yeah, we've got your diagnosis. You're haunted. That's funny. I sit down in the chair. I'm like, hey, that cave? Bad cave.
And Oliver like perks up and looks back in the mirror, and they say, "Oh, you're back. That was strangely quicker than I thought it was going to be."
Bad cave. Cave? Bad cave. Bad cave.
And Oliver says, "All right, so what was the problem?"
Bad cave. Haunted. Not haunted, but I convey everything that happened. Definitely some kind of cave bunny, blood crystal monsters, Foxbud is the chosen one, you stupid motherfucker. I keep telling you, and none of you believed me, but now I know. So
Oliver says, wait, so you're like, okay, first of all, Foxbud is okay.
He's all right. Yeah, he's resting. He's getting the Helga recovery treatment right now.
They recall to the time that Helga hugged them, and they say, "And you're sure that's safe?"
Helga cares deeply about him. He'll be all right.
And they say, "All right."
I bet she goes, if anything, he's probably just covered in peonies right now. And that can only be good.
And Oliver says, and so you're sure that whatever that thing was a cave bunny?
I mean, I don't know for sure. I didn't. The only definitive thing that I saw was a scary translucent tentacle thing, and everything else was just filled with nightmares and horror, which line up with the stories. So my best guess is cave bunny. Plus the noises, it would make sense.
And they say, I mean, Lise, you know those are fairy tales, right?
Yeah, well, you weren't in the mine, Oliver, okay? Do you want to come? I'll bring you back to the scary mine with the big monster. Do you want to go back there? I don't think so.
They say, well, I assume it'll probably take weeks to dig the mine shafts back out again.
Oh, yeah, maybe we killed it.
And they say, I mean, I don't doubt what you saw. It's just, are you sure it wasn't like an illusion or something? Or
I'm gonna wring your neck.
They say, all right.
Why don't you ask Cassandra what she saw, huh? Why don't you ask Helga? Helga was afraid, Oliver.
Cassandra says, I don't know what it was, but it was terrifying. That's all I know.
Cave bunny. Next question.
Oliver says, all right, listen, I'm not trying to, whatever. Well, I'm glad you made it out. And you said you got the feather.
It was in a big blood crystal monster. So that is fun. There's a new kind of magic.
And they say, right. Yeah, Merlin's actually been talking to me about that for the past few days now. He says he's not sure what it is, but it's not like anything that's ever been studied before.
Bedlam said that it was similar to chaos magic, which to me means that it's like order magic or something, which would make sense if it has something to do with Tyr.
And they say, well, I mean, the divines have also been studied, and we've never heard of the gods having some special magic all their own.
Well, reality's also never been cracked in half, Oliver.
They say, no, I'm Lise, I'm trying to parse this information that we have. I don't really know what to make of it.
Oh. Well, it's definitely because of the crack that we can use it now. So, but hey, also, if I can use it, other people can use it as well. So that's probably not good.
And Oliver says, so you did cast with it?
Yes. Twice.
That's bizarre.
It was weird. It was all prismatic rainbows and geometric shapes.
And Oliver says, it's bizarre because Merlin has been attempting to harness it this entire time. And his only conclusions are, A, he doesn't think anyone can, and B, it's very dangerous, whatever it is.
Well, you can ask everyone who saw me use it. Do you want to go ask the blood crystal monster that I disintegrated with it, or what?
And Cassandra says, it did look super weird. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And Oliver says, just be careful, okay?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to keep using it if I don't have to. It was like that specific thing, like, wouldn't die, right?
And as you say you're not going to use it, you notice another hand on your chair, and you look over and you see Bedlam standing next to you, and he says, "Oh, come on! You know you want to!"
No, she goes, "Hold on, Oliver. No, I'm not going to use the fucking scary auto magic again, especially when it's dangerous and I don't know anything about it."
And he says, "But come on, we don't know what it is, Lise. It could be so much fun to find out."
Yeah, fun for you, because it'll probably destroy a bunch of shit or something. Shut up.
He says, "I don't know what it's going to do, and I really want to know. Come on, Lise, don't you want to know? Isn't it so tantalizing to know what's going to happen?"
No, I would rather not use it again, actually. Thank you.
He says, "What if reality gets cooler because of it?"
Okay, I don't need this right now. I'm trying to save reality, and there's a shade. I have a lot more things to talk to Oliver about, Bedlam, all right?
He throws his hands in the air and he goes, Lise, ever since you started working with a bunch of people and working towards saving the world, it became so much less fun."
Okay, because I'm trying to save the world and you are actively trying to make it worse.
"I'm trying to make it fun, Lise. Come on."
No, fun and worse are the same word for you.
He says, "You used to know how to have fun, Lise."
I know how to have fun in a way that doesn't make people get hurt, Bedlam.
And he turns to Vile and smile, and he says, "Are you getting this? Can you believe her? She doesn't want to have fun anymore. I swear, she stopped knowing how to have fun."
I know how to have fun, okay?
Prove
Did you
it.
see what
Have fun right now. Do it.
Did you see when I jumped off the ship earlier?
That was pretty funny, but I don't think you intended that.
No, I did. I jumped off. I said,
You
"Watch
fell on your
me."
face.
And okay, well, the landing was a different story. All right.
The
we don't need to
landing
talk
was the
about that.
best part.
Shut up. Okay.
I did not see that coming.
All right. Anyway, I have more important things to be talking about right now. I turn back to Oliver. Anyway.
And he like throws the door to the captain's quarters open. Not actually, but like kind of shows it to you as he does. And walks out with Violent Smile behind him. And he's like, "Can you believe this? She doesn't even seem to know how to have fun anymore. My best friend doesn't know how to have fun. Can you believe that?"
Okay.
And you see him continue walking in the distance, and then pushes open a wall as if it's a door, and walks off your ship.
Anyway, yeah, so there was some blood crystals, and there was a feather, and there was a scary cave bunny, and there was auto magic, and there was goddamn you know what? That wizard should be glad that he's dead, because I would have killed him for those cryptic fucking messages.
And Oliver says, "Well, yeah, it sounds like whatever it was definitely smart enough to solve those same riddles. It's unfortunate that he wasn't able to save himself."
Yeah, it was sad, but don't worry. I gave his hat to an old man with a little frog, so.
And that makes everything better.
Yes.
And they say, "Sorry, it sounds like he didn't like the Oran Empire or the Emperor himself, and we could definitely use allies in the assembly, but seems our through line there is gone now."
Right. Well, yes.
And
anyway.
Oliver says, "I guess while you're here, I'll bring this up, but just, it's not exactly any solid information yet. It sounds like there's whispers of the Emperor planning a big trip. I'm not sure to where. I'm not sure where he's headed. And I don't think it's any time in the next week or so. But It sounds like he's having to move a lot of supplies to charter a different ship in the Navy rather than the Fortune Empress now that, well, the Fortune Empress doesn't exist.
Ha! Take that, idiot. Sunk your unsunkable ship.
And they say, yes, the benefit being that now that he no longer has the Fortune Empress, it's a bit easier to track his movements.
Well, you're welcome. I got a flying ship out of it, so.
And they say, I'll keep you posted on anything that we hear next.
Do you? So, I tell them about the shade. By the way, and it was pointing west, right? So, like, should I go west? Is there something going on in Caliban?
They say, not that I'm aware of. They kind of rifle through their notes and go through a few binders, and they say, like what specifically? I mean, I don't know of any big events happening anywhere in the West today.
Well, I don't know. It was pointing west kind of urgently, and then it tried to summon something, and then it vanished. The last time I saw this shade was in the Cursed Crag, and that is in the west, I suppose, from where I am now. But I don't know if that's the right place to go. And also I have to give this feather back to Helia. So, like, I don't know.
And they say, I don't know that I have anything. They're going through their notes still, and they're like, well, I mean, the war has kind of grinded to a halt, as you're aware, and I don't think any troops are moving toward Haven, and in fact, I think Haven has refortified itself.
Okay, that's good.
And they're like kind of like tracking through maps and going through like the stuff on their walls as well. And they say, I don't know. I wish I had more for you.
That's fine. Knowing me, it will happen again. So I guess I'm gonna go give Helia this feather, and I'll let you know if anything happens on the way.
All right. Oliver says, all right, well,
also,
good luck,
I'm also
try not to be haunted, I guess.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm constantly haunted. I also, at some point, just, you don't have to add this to your to-do list, but I'm letting you know that I'm adding it to mine. I'm going to bring down the mist around Rune. Okay, goodbye!
And they say, whoa, wait, what?
No, I stand up.
You stand up. You can no longer hear Oliver, but, like, Oliver, like, is, like hands on their desk, like, eyes wide, and they're like clearly shouting things at the mirror, and they stand up, and you see their chair fall back behind them, and they slam their hands on the desk a few times, and then like they're yelling something, but you can't make out what.
I put my hand back on the chair and I'm like, not right now, just in a little bit, it's fine.
In the time that you touch it, you hear, what do you mean? What does that mean? Why you can't just drop information on that like me? Please, this could change the entire course of the war. Wait, hold on. Is Rune going to be working with Orin? And do you lift your hand up off?
No.
Okay, they continue ranting. Well, this could mean I mean, Orin could take over Rune. If they take over Rune, that's going to be a northern vantage point they have. They'll have so much more resources, and we've already shown that the elves are willing to work with the Orin Empire. The elven royalty is in favor.
I'm like taking my hand off and putting it back on.
Their voice cuts out. We've already shown that the elven royalty are. And if they do that, then we'll know that they'll have the. And God forbid that they get the.
And then at least like waits for them to be done.
They do not stop.
All right, she leaves. She's like, all right.
You see as you're leaving, Oliver slamming their hands on the desk, and like you can't quite tell, but you feel like they're gesturing back at the chair, demanding that you sit back down.
I put my hand on the chair one more time, and I go, not for a while.
You don't understand what this could possibly mean for the war, Lisa. Oh my God, this could change everything. This could ruin everything that we could possibly work for. This is the worst possible thing that could happen right now. There is a delicate balance in this war. And if you lift your hand up again, it cuts out again.
If I write on the mirror, will they be able to see it? In like lipstick.
Sure. I don't see why not.
I just write LOL. bottom of the to-do list. Love you. And then I leave.
You write that, and they look confused at first, and then they stare at it for a few seconds, squinting, and then they like pick up like a regular mirror off their desk and like shine it over there and like look at it, and then they slam it down and go.
Lisa's like crying, laughing, and she just leaves. She just leaves. She just leaves.
When you leave, Oliver has not stopped moving and yelling on the other end.
I go to check, or I tell the Tempest to head to the Scorched Wastes.
Okay.
And then I go check on Foxbud and make sure Helga hasn't just covered him in peonies.
You actually head into that room, and you see Foxbud tucked in a cot. And Helga is sitting at the foot of the bed, and it looks like she's attempting to cut a peony.
Oh. I watch.
She has a pair of shears, and she is holding this peony stem, and like with like all the deftness and precision that she can, is very gently putting the shears around the stem, and that's not a good roll.
No.
Attempts to do that thing where you're supposed to like cut the flower stem at an angle, and does so, but also snips off about a fifth of the actual peony petals.
Oh.
And you see her have like a moment where like her eye twitches and she like almost yells, but like looks over at Foxbud and looks back and goes,
That's so sad.
Foxbud is fast asleep on the cot and like has been like lovingly tucked in perfectly, and he's fast asleep.
Oh, I take the flower from her. I'm like, it's okay, Helga. Maybe next time.
Says, "Oh, Lise, hello," and doesn't look at you again. Just quickly looks at you to say hello, and then looks back at the flowers and like grabs another peony stem and has the shears out again and attempts to cut another one.
Can I give her the help action?
Sure. How are you helping?
I'm like, all right, Helga, now hold it like this, and yep, just angle the shears like so, and all right.
And she, with that, got a nat 20. And,
I am so good at helping.
and cuts the stem and has a pristine peony. And she says, "Oh, Helga, do it."
Good job, Helga. See, sometimes all you need is a slight adjustment to get it right.
And she pulls out those two little glass panes, and then looks at the peony and looks at the glass panes, and then looks at you and says, Just squish it?
No. I help her properly press the fucking flower.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Uh-oh. 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 I'm gonna also roll. What'd you get?
Yeah. That's a natural one.
I got a nat 20. Again.
Oh! Okay, so do we just cancel each other out, or like what happens?
So you kind of take the glass pane and are trying to like help Helga, but with a nat 20, Helga says, "Leash, no!" and like grabs it and pushes your hands off and like gently presses down on the peony and manages to save it.
She's like, all right, yeah, I shouldn't have helped. You're right.
And she has properly pressed this peony, and she says, "We got there through power of friendship."
You know what? That might be the first time that is true.
What do you mean? That is always true.
You're right.
And she is holding these glass panes in her hands, and she is so very proud of what she has accomplished.
Good. Now write your new letter, and we'll send this along with it.
She says, "What should Helga write?"
I don't know. You read her last letter.
She says, "But Helga's handwriting not very pretty."
You've been working on it. You've been getting pretty good. Show me your exercises that you've done today.
She pulls out a stack of papers, with every letter in the alphabet written like thousands of times, and plops them on the bedside table, and says, "Do you think is enough?"
What does it look like?
The letters are actually getting pretty legible at this point. I wouldn't say it's beautiful handwriting by any stretch of the word, but like it's certainly legible. And it definitely has a Helga charm to it. Clearly she was pressing a bit hard with the quill, and the letters are very bold.
I'm like, okay, I think that it's time for you to start writing your own letters.
And she says, "But what if she not think my handwriting is very pretty?"
Your handwriting is just as perfect as anyone else's. It is, you can read it, and that is what matters.
She says, "But she liked your handwriting."
And I, at the bottom, let her know, right, that it was not your handwriting. So I'm sure she'll be very excited to get a letter written by you.
She said her cheeks get really red, and she says, "Okay, but don't look."
I wasn't going to.
She like over the bedside table like haunches her shoulders and like wraps her arms around a sheet of paper and like starts writing and is kind of looking at you like a kid that's like drawing something that they don't want you to see.
Okay, I leave. I'm like, okay, have fun. I will not ruin this for you.
And Helga continues writing.
Okay. Well, I guess to go.
As you step out of the room, and close the door behind you, someone appears in front of you.
Oh, no.
It's Merlin, and he holds up a hand as you like go to speak, and he says, Listen, I'm very busy. I don't have a whole lot of time. Just really quick. You're not gonna do something crazy, are you?
No, I tried to tell them, and they literally wouldn't let me finish. So,
and he says, "Okay, so you're not just going to open up Rune and
No.
remove the mists and
no, I don't
Okay,
even
so-
know how to do that. Merlin.
Oliver said you were specifically said that you were going to do that.
I did say that, but I also said that it was at the bottom of my to-do list.
Okay, so you don't even know how.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear. And woof, he teleports away again.
She just rolls her eyes and sighs. Some people. Yeah, I don't know. I guess she goes to stand at the front of the ship to see if that shade comes back anytime on their way to the Scorch Wastes.
Yeah, you walk up to the deck, and it's empty up here aside for Cassandra, who's been leaning up against one of the banisters. She came up here as opposed to going with you to check on Foxbud, just to keep an eye on the deck.
He's all right. Helga, she's getting really good with those flowers.
And Cassandra says, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oliver's worried over nothing. I think Foxbud's in capable hands."
Oh yeah, no, he'll be all right. I think, hopefully, the world will end if he's not. But you know.
And Cassandra says, "What the hell do you think that thing was?"
I don't know. So it was like the same thing that happened in the Cursed Crag, right? Which I assumed when we saw that one, it was like a servant of the Obsidian Brotherhood meant to lead us there, but it disappeared before we actually got there, and we never saw it again. And I don't actually know who summoned it, or who it was working for. And now, this time, it looked like it was attempting to cast a spell but couldn't do it, which is weird. So I don't know.
And Cassandra says, "It's the spell that was definitely the weirdest part. I mean, you said the Tempest didn't feel anything on the deck, right?"
Right, which it's a specter, I don't know that it would feel like a ghost-like entity.
But I've never heard of ghosts casting spells.
Well, that makes me wonder if it's not like a summoned servant,
Even then, can they do that?
I might be a magic user, Cassandra, but I can't. If you haven't noticed, I can't summon any servants, so I haven't the slightest idea. I suppose I could have asked Merlin. I just saw him, but he was busy.
And as you're discussing this, it appears on the deck again.
Oh shit! There it is.
This time even more faint. And it's like waving its sleeves in the air and attempting to cast again. This time even weaker. The spell barely even materializes. And blotches of this thing are fading in and out, clearly barely held together, and it's frantically pointing off in that direction again and fades away.
Am I headed in that direction?
You are not.
Fuck. Hilly, I can wait another minute for this feather. Tempest. I don't know. West again. I'm sorry.
It once again writes that text to the page. West where?
Just west. West indefinitely until I say otherwise.
And the text, but we've moved south since last time.
It's still west.
And the ship like adjusts course, and the words I don't understand what's going on appear on the page.
All right, I explained to the Tempest what's happening. I don't know. I don't know what's going on either, Tempest.
The Tempest writes on the page, but if we don't have a heading, how will we know when we get there?
I'm assuming the shade will come back. Probably.
You continue in this direction for a while, hours, and Cassandra stays on the deck with you the entire time, and you are easily deep out into the Calabanian Sea, and you so far don't see anything. You are easily in the middle of the ocean now.
Okay, about where?
You're kind of passing over some of the islands around the landmass that makes up No Man's Land.
Okay. I wish I could be like scrying or something.
And at this point, it's getting rather late, and Cassandra turns to you and she says, "We can't stay out here all night, babe."
Do you think we should go back to the Cursed Crag? Should that be our destination?
And she says, "But where in the Cursed Crag?"
I don't know. But that was where we first saw it, on the beach.
She says, "I mean, whatever we do, I'd prefer we do it in the morning."
All right. I tell the Tempest, like, west for now. I'll let you know as soon as I know more. We're going to bed now. Lisa's gonna sleep on the deck.
Okay. Cassandra, as you convey that to her, she says, "Okay, come on. You don't have. You're gonna catch a cold out here. It's freezing."
Okay, but the shade, Cassandra. I'll bring pillows and blankets.
And she says, "I mean, if it can appear on the deck, couldn't it appear inside? I swear you're gonna catch a cold out here. And
All right.
you're gonna be sniffling and you're gonna be really
Okay,
mad."
fine. I'll come to bed.
And you turn in for the night. Really quick, we are going to have a poll. Give me 1 second. I need to move everything over. Lise turns in for the night, falls asleep. Is Lise going to have a dream or a nightmare?
Am I about to
1
level
for
up?
dream, 2 for nightmare.
I wasn't ready for that. I guess dreams don't necessarily mean level up, but they usually do.
It's looking like it's gonna be a dream. It's so funny that no one is ever willing to pick nightmare.
We've gotten nightmare a couple times. All right,
A handful of times.
You can be happy with that.
you fall asleep, and at some point in the night, you have that familiar dream again.
Which one?
The dream in which a very ethereal Bedlam is spending time with you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're walking around this strange foreign world where it's hard to really describe. This dream kind of has like a sort of dream fog over everything. You can't clearly remember what anything in particular looks like. You remember things floating, things looking just otherworldly. Like it's kind of like an old like sort of watercolor like abstract painting where like you can't really place any one thing. Like, have you ever seen those like weird AI generated like pictures of like piles of things, but you can't quite place what anything is?
Yeah, you can't like pick out any one thing in the picture. Those fuck me up.
This dream is kind of like that. All you know is that you and Bedlam are walking about and enjoying yourselves. And once again, you're laughing, and so is Bedlam. And kind of like how you can't write in dreams, for some reason in this dream you can't understand what either of you are saying. Kind of sounds like Simlish to you.
Am I watching like from my perspective, or am I watching this like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you can tell you're talking and you're laughing, like you hear your voice in your head. But again, it all sounds like Simlish to you.
Yeah.
And you know, everything here just feels different than the other dreams and nightmares you've had. Like it doesn't feel real, but at the same time, it does. Like every other dream, it felt so stunningly real. Like you were there, you could hear everything, you could see everything. This one, it's bizarre. It's like you're not there, but you are all at once. And once again, you say something, and Bedlam looks sad. And he seems to be protesting whatever you're saying, and you hug him, and he's crying. And it's strange because even though you don't fully understand what's going on here, it's like you can feel there's a pit in your stomach, but you don't know why. I mean, sure, you know Bedlam and, you know, you talk to him every single day, but you're not sure why this is making you so sad. And then you wake up.
That man really fucks with my dreams. What the hell kind of whack-ass dreams I be having? Why am I so sad? Help.
And you hear, "You're sad because you're not willing to have families!"
She rolls away from him.
He actually wasn't in front of you, and now he is. You rolled in front to face him.
Oh. But I'm facing the wall, so he's like standing in the middle of the bed.
He's like in the wall.
Oh, okay. Well,
he's like half in the wall, half out.
All right. Well,
he's like that dude from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Bro, why are you in my dreams though? What's the point?
He says, "I was in your dreams."
Why are you making me sad in my dreams?
Please, you do care.
I have no control over my dreams. Why would you make that assumption?
I knew you cared. I knew we were best friends, Lise.
Okay. If that is all you have to say, listen, I have a shade I have to go look out for. I roll the other way.
What is up with that guy?
You seen him? I don't know. Has he come back while I've been sleeping?
Lise, how on earth would I know that?
Oh, I guess that's fair. Do you sleep when I sleep?
You call me stupid all the time.
Do you also sleep? I forget that you're not just like around. I forget that you're in here.
My senses are in tune with yours. If you're not sensing things, neither am I, Lise.
Are you? What do you do when I go to sleep?
I suppose I go and watch what everyone else is doing who I'm psychically linked with, and they're all so boring. They're all talking about some hammer all the time.
A hammer?
Yeah, some stupid hammer.
Oh. What's Varric been up to?
I don't know. Something about a hammer, Lise.
Do you know where do you know where he is?
I don't know. He's on some ship.
Some ship, huh? Okay.
Hold on, let me check really quick. And he like puts his finger to his eyes and to his temple rather, and his eyes like do like a slot machine where they're going like the pupil is like cycling a bunch, and then his eyes settle back into place, and he's just like, "Yep, still boring, still just on a boring ship."
Okay. Do you know why this hammer is important or where it is?
I think because it's red. I think they really just like the color red, Lise.
It's a red hammer. Okay, and do you know where it is?
I don't know. I don't think they know either.
Oh, but they're looking for it. Okay. Tam, you know what? You can be helpful sometimes. I'll give you that.
I'm helpful all the times.
Okay. If you could find out where, hey, when Varric gets off the boat, will you let me know? Can you do that for me?
I mean, I suppose. But then I have to watch him, Lise.
Oh, that's true.
He's so boring.
Listen, I get it. I don't want to talk to him either.
Imagine if you had to see what he was seeing and hear his dumb little voice all day long.
Bedlam, will you go to Varric and tell him that I said that he's good? Hold on, wait, no, I have to think of something funny to say. I have to think of something really funny to say. Hold on.
Are we going to prank him, Lise?
Yeah. Yes, okay, wait, hold on.
I knew you knew how to have fun. Oh, joyous day.
How did I not think of this before? You can
fantastic.
talk to Varric. How did I not think of this before? You can talk to him. Cassandra, wake up! We're bullying Varric.
Okay. Cassandra goes, what? Oh, God.
What's something
Lise, it's
really
like
funny?
6 a.m.
What is something funny that I can say to Varric?
I don't know. He's ugly. And she turns over.
He is ugly. He's very ugly. Bedlam, go to Varric.
He says, wait, hold on. Vile, quick, boys, I need the pen and paper. And like they bring out a gigantic pen and paper, and he has a pencil the size of him. And he's like, all right, go, Lise.
Tell him that I said he's ugly, and then draw a penis.
Okay. Now, wait, hold on. Are we talking a human penis?
You know what? I'll let you have creative freedom on that one.
There's some eldritch, otherworldly penises that are quite a bit more disgusting than human penises.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you
all
do
right.
those?
And he takes these notes.
Lisa's like, this is the best thing I've ever come up with. Okay, now show him that. And then at the bottom, write PS, LOL, fuck you.
He says, all right, and this is going to get under his skin.
Yes, probably.
I don't understand why, but I'm going to trust the process.
And then when you leave, tell him he's a little piss boy.
A little okay, let's be like that. A little piss boy. Okay, just to be clear, he's not a boy, he's a man.
But
Does that matter?
That's the funny part, remember?
Oh, okay.
We're calling him a boy, right?
Fantastic, okay.
He's small.
Yes, okay. Got it. Should we also call him other things that he's not? What if we call him like a dragonborn or something, just to really confuse him?
No.
What if we start saying all kinds of things that aren't true? What about that he has really big muscles?
No, that's just, you see how that would be a compliment to him?
I don't understand. Why?
Because he doesn't have any, and it's not
Yeah,
funny.
that's the funny part. It's confusing.
Funny. No. Just stick with what we've written, Bedlam.
Okay, and you're sure this is going to upset him?
He might not seem upset, but I know that deep inside he will be hurting.
He says, I feel like it's not confusing enough, but I'll trust you on this.
Okay, and when you come back and let me know what he says and how he reacts.
Okay, hold on. I'll do it right now. And
Okay.
his eyes do that slot machine thing again. And this time his eyes land on Vile and Smile. And you hear ding, 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 and coins shoot out of his mouth. And he says, he didn't respond.
What do you mean he didn't respond?
He rolled his eyes, and then he kept doing whatever he was doing beforehand. And I made that penis really gross. Like, it was disgusting. Even I knew it was disgusting.
Did he read the whole thing?
I mean, I showed him the words. I can't confirm or deny that he read them.
Well, but he rolled his eyes, so he must have read them, right?
I think so. Should I show him more penises?
Yeah, why don't you just do that? Huh? Why don't you draw a bunch of penises and
What
show
if I
them
start
to him?
making up penises that don't exist?
Yes. Why don't you do that and show them to him until he elicits the response that you wish?
And he says, what about this one? And he shows you the most fucking weird ass dick. It has like 37 balls. It's like curled around itself in like a corkscrew and like branches out into 3 other dicks. And one of them is like a snake's head.
She's like, yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Okay. And he snaps his fingers and it goes away.
Just keep showing him dicks. I'm sure eventually you'll get the response that you want.
He says, all right, one last try. And then his eyes do that thing again. And then he comes back and he says, I think he's blocking me out. He didn't even react.
He
That
can
was
do
really
that?
boring. I think he's just ignoring me.
What an asshole.
He's doing that thing you do where you don't pay any attention to me and I just have to leave because you're not perceiving me.
I see. Well, this wasn't as fun as I...
He did heavy sigh once. I don't know if that counts for anything.
Do you know what? I'll accept it. Do you know what? I'll take that. We have mildly annoyed him. And that is all I can ask
You
for.
see what I mean, Lise? He's so boring to interact with.
Yeah, he's not even fun to prank. Hey, go show that to one of the other ones and see if they think it's funny.
Oh, okay. Which one?
I don't know. You have a bunch of other subordinates, right?
Let's see. He like seems to be like searching through something as he says this, and he says, "Oh, Timothy will absolutely not like this." And his eyes do the slot machine thing again, flickering between black and white, and then it lands on 2 penises and goes ding ding ding, and more coins come out. And he says,
Why is that
"Oh, he
happening?"
projectile vomited."
Haha! See, that's the response that you want, right?
I made it the
Damn.
most disgusting penis that's even imaginable. Believe me, I would know.
Okay. Well, anyway, this was a good idea. until it wasn't. I have to go see where we are now and see if that shade came back.
Says, all right, let me know if I should draw any more penises.
Yeah, maybe right before he's about to go to sleep, you should pop out of nowhere and go, ah, and show him another one.
Says, ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, let's do this to Varric.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and I shouldn't do it to you.
No.
Okay, just taking note of that now. And he turns into that disgusting penis again and falls out of a window.
Okay. I wake up like, Cassandra, I've mildly annoyed Varric.
She says, that's nice, dear.
It is nice. I go outside. I ask the Tempest where we are.
You write into the journal, and you can actually see. You at this point are floating above some like rocky spires that are poking out of the ocean, and waves are crashing up against them. And the Shifting Tempest says in the book, we are just above Umberlee's teeth.
Okay. Any sign of the shade?
And the ship it replies, I'm still not clear on what that is.
Okay. I go ask Zachary and Artemis if they've seen anything.
And actually you go below deck and Artemis actually catches you in the hallway. He says, Elise, where are we headed?
West.
He says, because I just looked out the window and I think I see the shores of Sanctaria in the distance.
Yeah.
That's a war zone. Are we joining the war front? Because we're not ready for that.
No, but the shade told me to go west.
The shade?
Did Zachary? Maybe I didn't tell you. There was a shade yesterday that appeared on the ship. Like the one we saw at the Cursed Crag. You went there for that. There was one at the Cursed Crag, and it looks like the same one or a similar one. And it was frantically pointing west, and he keeps trying to appear and summon something, but he's weak and he can't do it. So
he says, is there any chance we could change course? Because I don't like the direction we're headed.
Okay. I tell the Tempest, start going south.
Okay. You tell that to the Tempest, and the ship changes course, and just starts heading south. And the words appear, if at any point you get a heading, I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I'll just be like, south for now.
Yeah, you continue south.
Okay, but yeah, anyway, it wants us to go somewhere over here. I don't know where. I also have to go give this back to Helia, but he seemed really frantic about it, so I thought maybe we could check it out first, but he hasn't come back, so I don't know.
He says, well, if you get more information, then I'm also intrigued. I just don't know exactly where we're headed.
I don't know where we're headed either, okay? I don't know. You don't know. The Tempest doesn't know. Only the Shade knows, and the Shade hasn't come back, so.
And he says, yeah, I'm just saying, the Western continent's pretty big. We'd be searching for a while if we don't have a heading.
Well, I'm thinking maybe the Cursed Crag, right? Because that's where we saw it the first time. Do you think that sounds smart?
Says, okay. Maybe we just be careful about going in there and maybe keep our distance when you go in.
Okay, right. That sounds scarily familiar to what happened the last time I was there. I tell the Tempest, go to the shores of the cursed crag.
The Tempest notes that the quickest direction would be the direction it was just moving.
Can you are we above the clouds?
Yes, just above.
So
You're
no
kind
one
of
will
surfing on clouds.
No one will see us.
There's breaks in the clouds for sure.
All right, let's go south and then let's go south and then west.
Okay. You continue your journey south. It's a long journey. Is there anything you want to do?
Well, we all rested. I guess just as long as Foxbud's still doing okay. I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Yeah, you pass time as you travel south. Eventually you check in on Foxbud a few more times. And he's looking more and more composed each time. Some of his blues coming back. And I think maybe that evening, as you're kind of passing the scorched wastes, he actually gets up and is kind of walking around the ship, kind of almost back to his original self.
Yay! I feel like I'm sitting on the ground and like rolling a ball, and he's running after it and bringing it back to me.
Yeah, he's gotten to the point where he's not running, but he's trotting around the ship.
Yeah, that's good. We're doing physical therapy.
And you see the sort of noxious gas of the scorched wastes blanketing the ocean below. And Cassandra actually stops by while you're playing with Foxbud. She says, "So we're going to the scorched wastes?"
I think we should go to it's right here, right? Maybe we stop by the scorched wastes. We give the feather, and then we find out where the shade wants us to go, right?
She says, "Okay, works for me. Makes sense."
All right. I tell the Tempest, actually take me to the scorched wastes.
And the page fades away, comes up with the text, "Are you serious?"
It's right here, Tempest.
It says, "We took the longest route possible in order to get here."
Okay. What? Do you not like flying?
No additional text appears. You begin going below the clouds.
Attitude.
And the shifting tempest slowly hovers down closer and closer to the scorched waste until it's only like 100 feet or so off the ground.
Oh, do you know what? It's probably hungry. It's probably mad because it's hungry.
The shifting tempest has not eaten a ship in some time.
Yeah, we'll have to find a ship for it soon. Perhaps the cursed crag will have some ships. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I go, okay, Bedlam, here's the fun. And I jump off the ship.
You say that, and he instantly appears. And as you're falling through the air, he's standing upright, like right in front of you as you're falling, and he's like, "Oh, good. See, Lise, I knew that you had it in you. I knew you just needed a little push, and then maybe you could start having fun again. See, this is the Lise that I like."
I've been having fun this whole time, okay? Our definitions of fun are different.
Give me a dexterity saving throw as you touch down on the ground. I think with a 12, you don't stick a perfect landing. You kind of like do that thing where you stumble forward a little bit and then you stop and hold your hands out as you balance yourself and then stand up straight.
Nice. See?
And he says, "Oh, good. And he holds up a 6.
A 6? All right. I guess. All right. I could have landed better. Fine.
It would have been a 10 if you'd fallen on your face again.
Oh, okay. I see. I wait for Cassandra and Helga.
They climb down the rope ladder and join you on the ashy surface of the scorched wastes, still with all this magma pouring out around you.
Sometimes, Cassandra, jumping off of things is fun. Especially because I can't really get hurt.
And she says, yeah, no, that was really graceful this time. You did a really good job, and you looked really cool while you did it.
I know that you're being sarcastic with me, but I'm going to pretend that you sincerely mean that. And I love you.
I do. I sincerely mean that.
I flip her off.
She kisses the side of your head.
Okay. All right. Let's go. I head into the cave.
You head in and you see after navigating through the illusion using your lantern, you see the same large empty chamber. The followers of Helia have not returned as they had last time, and you see her tiny little phoenix self roosting on the pedestal.
Helia! I'm back!
And she perks up and she says,
Oh, you're finally back. It took some time.
Yes, I'm sorry. A lot of bad things happened. But I got a feather. I walk up to the pedestal and I pull it out.
You do this, and almost instantly, licks of flame begin coming out of the phylactery and absorbing into her, and the feather slowly begins floating gently out of the phylactery. And she flaps her tiny little baby bird wings, and as she flaps her tiny little baby bird wings, she says,
"Say nothing."
Lisa's like biting her tongue so hard.
And the feather slowly drifts over to Helia, and she is enveloped in another burst of flame, and she's kind of looking like, at this point, like a little larger than the size of like a peacock, like a really, really large bird at this point, standing on the pedestal, like bigger than an owl. And there's like some feathers like missing in her coat, but like she looks like a little bit sickly, a little unwell, but she is significantly larger than she was last time. And she says,
"Thank you, Lise. You continue to show me that you are our best hope for stopping all of this."
I had to fight a cave bunny and some blood crystals to get that one.
And she says,
"You fought a cave bunny and lived."
Well, no, I didn't fight it. We ran screaming through the darkness, and got away from it.
She says,
"Honestly, that is probably the best way that could have gone."
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
I believe, off of what I've heard, you are perhaps one of a handful of mortals who have ever encountered one and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. Actually, it was bad. Also, I have many questions. Did you know that reality is broken? Did you hear about that?
Yes, I sensed it, actually, and I assume that you likely sensed it as well.
Yeah, sensed is a great word.
She holds out her wing and indicates the table that the other guys used to sit at, and it is scorched, and like burnt to ash. And she says,
Someone is abusing our power.
Is it so? Do they have a feather? Is that how they're doing it?
That is the only thing that would make sense to me.
Great.
After all of the Phoenix magic is tied together.
Great. So they have a feather, and they're using it to hurt me. They made me hurt a lot, Helia. I killed a man, and I set a town on fire, and I was gonna kill a man anyway, but it was like I had to do it, you know? And that's just not fun.
she says,
Elise, I have something very important I want to discuss with you. It actually pertains to this very problem.
Okay, I'm listening.
I have not been completely truthful with you. Not entirely. I haven't lied, but I concealed something from you.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it, Helia. God damn it. What is it?
Something that I have concealed from every mortal up until this moment, but now that reality itself is being destroyed, I don't know that I really have much of a choice.
Okay.
So
What is it?
I'm going to trust you with something, and I need you to promise me that you will not tell anyone else.
I turn around and look at Cassandra and Helga.
and she looks to the two of them and she says,
I need all of you to swear yourselves to secrecy.
All right. But you have to promise not to lie to me anymore.
And Helga says, only if you promise Helga a hug.
You gotta give her a hug.
And Helia says,
I don't know that would be a good idea. I am the embodiment of otherworldly flame. But
She wants a hug, Helia. Are you gonna tell her no?
this sounds like a terrible idea. I truly cannot stress enough. I don't recommend this. All right, fine. I suppose you can hug me, but I just understand that I can't control.
and as she's saying that, all Helga heard was, you can hug me. She immediately wraps her arms around Helia, and takes 92 points of fire damage. As flames arc off of her body and scorch her skin, and all Helga says is, "Oh."
Oh, I didn't think it was gonna hurt that bad.
And she's like covered in soot, and like her vest is scorched up, and like her hair is like Junkrat from fucking Overwatch, like scorched on the tips. And she says, "Oh, that was probably a 2 out of 10 hug."
Yeah. I think Cassandra fucking pats her on the back and casts Cure Wounds.
Okay. Cassandra does that?
Yeah.
At what level?
4th.
Okay. I need to undo all these. Cure Wounds. That'll be 4d8 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
She regains 28 HP.
That's not a lot, but it's something.
and her hair is like a little less scorched now, and she's looking a little better, but she's still covered in soot.
Okay. All right. She goes, okay. And now, no more hugs from the Phoenix. Okay?
Says, maybe Helga gets stronger for a better hug.
Okay. Maybe. Anyway, yeah. What do you have to say? Sorry.
She says,
So, what you need to understand is that I have hid this from everyone for their own safety. Because if this got out, unspeakable damage could be done to the world. But clearly, someone has already discovered the information. And so, I'm sharing with you in the hopes that you can stop them.
Okay.
I do know how the Reformation is started. I do know how the apocalypse begins. But I have not told anyone in hopes of preventing it. Because you see, the apocalypse can only be started through the use of a primal guardian's magic and by the hands of a mortal. I thought that should I never even tell them, then perhaps it'll never happen. After all, I'm the only remaining primal guardian, and if no mortals know, then reality will be safe. However, they are making use of my feathers to sidestep the need for me.
Okay.
The apocalypse, the Reformation, is begun through the turning of two great keys. They've already attempted to turn one, though they did not do so in the correct location.
What does that mean?
They did so not at the center of everything.
What does that
Caliban-
mean?
Caliban's name is named so from an ancient tongue. It translates in your tongue to Caliban, which is an anagram. Caliban is balance. The keys have to be turned in Heaven's cradle.
Oh.
The
How
first
did
The first key is the Sky Skyver in your tongue. A massive blue spear. I
Right.
believe that is the key that has been discovered so far. Have you seen this massive blue key?
Yes. The Emperor has it.
The other
Is a red hammer.
is the Earth Render.
Yeah.
The World Render, as we call it. Sorry, I misspoke.
Damn, Helia.
I don't know what Earth is.
Right.
really quick, I want to run a quick poll. Boys, there's another key. The world render. But where is it located? Is it somewhere hidden? Or is it somewhere secure? Seems like everyone's voting for secure.
Okay.
And she says,
When I became aware of the ability to start the apocalypse, my reaction, of course, was we need to prevent this under any means necessary. And so we hid them. One upon a massive mountain peak, and another securely deep underground.
Okay.
The one hidden underground was the World Render. It's hidden deep inside what you now call Tiellinroom.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, we know Varric can get into Tiellinroom, so that's not good. I guess I'll have to go get it first. Do you know where exactly in Tiellinroom, on which of the isles?
It should be in the center, deep, deep underground. If you do not know of a way of getting deep underground there, it's likely been hidden, built around by elven structures.
Oh, hey, you know what's in the center of the middle of Tiellinroom? The palace. Shit. Okay. Well, lucky for you, I grew up there, okay? And I grew up going to court. So, goddamn do I know my way around that stupid castle.
He says, this is good news, actually.
Okay. Well, I guess new course of action, go get the fucking hammer. Okay. And then when I have the hammer, what do I do with it?
Guard it with your life and everyone's lives. We have to prevent the usage of that hammer.
And they have to use both keys. What happens if they take the Skyskiver to Heaven's Cradle? Would just one key won't do anything?
Both keys must be turned. However, events will be set in motion. One key can be turned, and reality will not be destroyed. But once the second is turned, all hope is lost.
Okay, so they don't have to be turned together. Do you think that they turned the first key and that's what broke reality?
I don't know that they turned it in the right location, which is why
Oh.
the sky is cracked.
I think they tried to do it in Orin. I think they might have tried to do it in Orin. And they were stupid, and so it didn't work.
Doing so in Orin wouldn't be much like forcing a lock. That doesn't necessarily mean it will open. It
Right.
is imperative that it happens in Caliban, because
Right.
it is the center of all things, not just in your reality, but in all planes.
Okay. Well, it's interesting that they don't know that part, it's good. So what you're saying is heist Tiellinroom and then kick Orin out of Caliban, which was kind of the plan anyway.
I suppose that does seem to be the best course of action.
Okay. Do you feel any other feathers?
Unfortunately, I feel as though many feathers have already been gathered.
Right. That's what
You
I'm
see,
worried about.
When you went missing, the feathers all flared at once, and they slowly blipped away. Someone has been gathering them for the past 5 years, and they aim to use them.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Okay, well, I think I know who it is, too. Ugh. All right, well, this has been very helpful. I'm gonna. There's a shade on my ship who wants me to go west, but now I gotta go to Tielenrune, so
A
maybe it'll
shade.
Yeah, so when I went to the Cursed Crag the first time, well, actually the only time I've been there was a shade that met us on the beach, and it led us to the Obsidian Brotherhood. And I didn't know who summoned it, and I still don't know. But a similar one, or perhaps the same one, has appeared on my ship and has been frantically pointing west and unsuccessfully trying to cast a spell. And I don't know what that means.
Could someone be attempting to lure you somewhere?
I mean, yes, but but it could also be important.
Just be safe, Beast of Forest.
Yeah.
Please, I do think you are our only hope. That said,
Ah.
I feel my strength slowly returning. I think we have hit a threshold.
And she flaps her wings once, and she says,
You see, Phoenix magic is restorative in nature. It can recreate itself, such as the way of a phoenix. I haven't been able to for so long because, well, I lacked enough energy to do so. But I can feel myself growing, returning to power. I think soon I may be able to help you. Just give me some time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be super great and very helpful. But no, like if rush, I guess. Well, if you could, that'd be great. But
This
don't.
is absolutely a rush. I would say this is 100% a rush.
Okay, well.
I appreciate that you seem concerned for me, Lise, but this is definitely, let's make no jokes about this. This is absolutely a rush.
I care for you, right? And I care about you. And you're also the source of my power, so if anything happens to you, my power is gone as well, I assume. So. Yes.
I fear if I should perish, then likely you will be without power. I will not let this happen.
That'd be. But I mean, couldn't you just come back again? You are a phoenix.
My power would be diminished the same way it was in the past.
So I'd have to collect the feathers again.
Yep.
So, your power has been growing alongside mine. You are as strong as you are now because we are on this journey together.
Right. And there's no way I can take you with me. This is still probably the safest place for you.
It would be best for me to remain here and gather my strength. But again, just some time is all I require. Once I can fly again, I will be able to help you.
And she indicates her wings, which are, again, missing some feathers.
Right. All right. Well, the world is ending. Reality is tearing itself apart. And I've a hammer to find. I shall return to check on you. Maybe I shall find another feather somewhere. Who knows? Until then, be safe and know that I shall see you again. And if you lie to me again, I'm going to flick your little bird nose.
She says,
I have no additional information to conceal from you. I, again, did not enjoy lying to you, but I needed to do so to protect everyone. I recognize now that was a mistake.
I understand why you did it, and I'm not upset. But I will be upset in the future, so I shall leave. I shall take my leave.
She does like a little bird bow with her wings out, and she says,
I'm in your debt, Beast of Forest, and the world is depending on you now.
Yes, that seems to be a trend. And she turns around and leaves.
You head out, and as you make your way out of the caves and back to the surface, surrounded by these like lava rivers, you once again see that shade.
Bro, what do you want?
This time, blood covering the front of its cloak, dripping down from where its head would be. Still can't see its face. And it's doing that thing still where blotches of it are fading out of existence, and it raises its arms again and is attempting to cast something, and blood shoots out from that hood onto its chest, and it's like coughing up blood as it attempts to cast this, and you see this like what looks to be a portal forming in front of you, but it doesn't look stable, and it's crackling in and out of existence, and for a split second it fully forms, and you see through the portal the inside of some cave. It's so dimly lit, it's hard to see. But just as you're looking and trying to figure out where this portal is to, it dissipates, and it coughs up more blood, and flips out of existence.
Okay, you guys saw that too, right?
Cassandra says, I was trying not to, but yes, I did.
Okay, where do you think that portal went?
And Helga says, oh, Helga know this one. It is inside of dark room.
Well, it looked like a cave, but yeah, somewhat dark.
A cave is just room for people who do not live in rooms. And she like taps her temple, like, think about it.
Yeah, all right.
I think shade leading us to bedroom to show cool correction.
There's no... I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know who is summoning this shade. I don't know why. It could be a trap, but it's... I don't know. It feels like a trap, but it also feels important. And I'm worried, and I don't know how to fix this issue.
Cassandra looks to you and says, it looked like it was creating a portal. Maybe next time it appears, it'll be successful?
Okay, but we can't just go through a portal without having any way back, without knowing where it goes.
She says, fair. We've got Foxbud.
I'm not sending him in there.
Well, he can drop mist down. And then help you teleport back, maybe.
And then we can go in. Well, he'd have to be recovered for that, and I don't know if he's ready. Besides, we have to use his mist to get into Tielenrune.
I suppose you're right, yeah.
Shit. Alright, well, there's nothing we can do now. It's gone again. Let's get back to the ship and let me call Oliver again and relay to them the actual importance of having to go to Tielenrune now.
All right. You go back to the ship. Are you saying you go to your captain's quarters to talk to Oliver?
Mm-hmm.
I think you enter the room and Oliver sees you enter the room and they just like start pointing at your chair while looking at you.
I sit down and go, okay, listen.
So you're not going to dispel the mist. You don't even know how to do that. Why did you freak me out like that?
You wouldn't let me explain explain. You wouldn't let me explain.
Do you know how bad you freaked me out, Lise? You can't just say that.
Okay, calm down. I have worse news. You need to calm down.
Oh, great. Fantastic. I get to have another aneurysm.
Okay, listen. I'm not kidding about the mist, but that's not gonna happen for a long time. That's like after we save the world stuff, probably. Okay, so don't worry about that right now. That has nothing to do with this. However, I do have to go to Tielenrune because there's an artifact hidden there that
as you're saying that, Cassandra is like looking over at you and like kind of squeezing your shoulder, kind of like should we be telling people this?
She said there is an artificial snack recipe that that I must retrieve, and it's very important.
You say that, and Oliver stares at you and says, "What?"
Just it's fine. I have to go there for a little bit, but it'll be okay. Second of all,
what a snack? You're going to Tielenrune for a snack?
For some elvish bread snack.
What? For bread?
Yeah, trust me, it's really important bread, Oliver, okay?
Well, what does the bread do?
She's like, it's really important bread. It's bread and it's really important, okay?
And they say, I feel like you're trying to convey a message to me and I don't understand.
She gives up. She's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. More pressingly,
you can tell me what you're doing. I mean,
no, I can't. I'm going to get bread, and that's what I'm doing. And I can't tell you anything else for reasons. And you'll just have to trust me about the bread.
Give me a deception check and do it with disadvantage because it's the dumbest fucking logic I've ever heard in my life.
Bread. I'm going to get some bread. Oh, natural 1. Plus deception 9.
Oliver stares at you and says, so you're doing something in Tielenrune and you won't tell me what.
I cannot. I'm going to get bread.
And this is right after you told me you were going to get rid of the mists, but you're telling me that's not what you're doing.
I'm not going to get rid of the mist. I swear on all that I love that I'm not going to destroy the mist.
They put their face in their hands and they just say, Lise, you know how this looks.
Cassandra, please vouch for me. Please vouch for the bread, Cassandra.
And Cassandra says, we're not going there to get rid of the mists.
See?
And at this point, Merlin enters the room and you hear off, it's like you can't see him, but you just hear him say, is Lise saying something else to you, Oliver? I can hear your aneurysms from here.
I'm going to Tielenrune to get elven bread, and I can't say anything else.
Merlin walks over and touches his chair so that he can hear you too, or rolls over. Wow, can't walk. Rolls over.
Wow, ableist.
Yeah. Rolls over and touches the chair, and says, "All right, Lise, what are you saying to be mean to Oliver now?"
We're going to get some bread.
And Merlin says, bread. And Merlin turns to Oliver and says, "All right, now what does that mean in Lise speak?"
Bread.
And Oliver says, "I'm worried she's gonna get rid of the mists."
I told you that I wasn't, and Cassandra also said so, and you know Cassandra wouldn't lie to you.
Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
And Oliver says, and she insists that's not what she's doing, and I'm inclined to believe her, but I don't know what she's gonna do then, and she won't tell me.
I cannot tell you. I promised that I would guard the secret of the bread.
Merlin rolls his chair closer to the other side, closer to the mirror, and he says, "All right, Lise, you can't tell us. Can I just ask you one thing?"
Perhaps.
And you feel like he's looking directly into your eyes, even though he's not in the room with you. He's still staring directly into your eyes, watching every movement of your face. And he says, "Can I trust you?"
Yes. Of course you can trust me. I'm offended that you think that you can't.
He says, "And we can trust you're not going to do something
I'm not going to bring...
Lise-like."
I'm not going to... I'm not going to... Okay, I am Lise. So promising I'm not going to do something Lise-like is literally impossible. But I promise that I'm not going to bring the mist down.
He says, "You're not going to do some shenanigans that are going to make Oliver very upset."
No.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, my natural 20 wasn't enough. 19.
He squints at you and stares at your face as you say this. And like he stares at you for a long time, analyzing every twitch of your face. And he says, "You can trust her, Oliver."
See? It's really important, bread.
And Oliver sighs and puts their face back in their hands, and they say, all right, I'll try not to think about it."
More pressingly, there's a shade that is trying to summon a portal somewhere, and it's bleeding.
What?
I convey what happened at the Scorched Wastes.
And Merlin says, "Curious, I don't know that I've ever heard of something like that happening. Perhaps
Is it a trap, or should I go in?
Perhaps it's not so much a magical servant of some sort, and perhaps it's more of a self-projection."
Okay, well, but who is getting hurt in trying to open a portal to me?
That I can't say. You didn't get a look at the face?
He's wearing a hood. You're the only person I know other than Cassandra who can do magic, I think.
He says,
I don't know who it would be.
"If it was bleeding, that suggests to me that perhaps whoever or whatever is casting this is dying, and attempting to do so is killing it faster."
All right. Well, if you suddenly don't hear from me for a while, I probably went through the portal.
Merlin says, "Right. I'm going to look into this and see if I can get any additional information about what this could possibly be. And you said no identifying features, like a hand wasn't exposed or a foot or anything."
I don't think so. Was there anything?
You don't recall so. The kind of shape of this thing is it has like really long sleeves. You can't quite see its hands because its sleeves kind of droop over. And the tattered robes touch the ground easily.
Yeah, no. No.
Merlin says, "All right, that's going to make identifying what this could be significantly more difficult, but I'll certainly try.
Hey, maybe it'll show up before I speak to you again, and I'll find out what it is myself, but we'll see.
And then he says, also, quick question. Oliver mentioned that you used that new magic.
Yes.
All right, and you did so successfully.
Yep.
As in, it conjured the fireball exactly as you would have expected.
Oh, no. It was prismatic and geometric and...
Yes, but it still functioned correctly.
Oh, yes. I believe so.
Interesting. And he turns to Oliver and he says, leave it to Lise to find ways to poke holes in my theories.
She says, what can I say? I'm full of surprises. Anywho, I'm going to go get some bread now, I guess. You guys need anything from Chandrun while I'm there? You want some, fucking Fey milk?
Fey milk!
I don't know.
And after you say that, Merlin's eyes raise, or eyebrows raise.
His eyeballs.
His eyebrows raise, and he says, and with that, I'm off to my study. And he rolls out of the room.
She goes, she salutes, and then she gets up from the chair.
Oliver is still like fully face and hands stressed out.
They'll get over it. Cassandra, where should we park the ship while we go to Tielenrune? Do you think we should just leave it here?
She says, I think we definitely should be as high in the sky as possible.
Yeah. Tempest, take us up.
It returns with the text anywhere in particular.
As high as you can get.
It replies with okay. And whoosh, the whole ship starts lifting into the air. And Foxbud actually walks into the captain's quarters, curious what's going on.
Hey, buddy. Does he look like if he opens a portal right now, it'll kill him, or like he seems okay?
He seems mostly fine. He's still not 100%, but he kind of has that like that vibe about him that like, you know, when you're getting better from being sick and you're up and about again, but you're not fully there yet.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be doing any fighting. But if he can open the mist, that's what I hope that's. So he can set down some mist, and then we can go through it to get to Tielenrune, and that will set down mist where we go through. But there's no way for us to. So like if we go through the mist from the ship to Tielenrune, and then say that that shade appears and we go through the portal, there's not a way to put down mist there to get back to the ship, right? He can only do it like once.
He does it once per day. And you need mist to be in both locations, the location you're coming from and the location you're going to. And so the reason you can go to Tielenrune is because there is always mist in Tielenrune. However, you can place down mist, and when he does, it stays there for about a week before it slowly dissipates.
Okay, so we can go. So let's say today we put down mist, go to Tielenrune, and then say tomorrow the shade shows up. We go through that portal, and then when we're wherever the portal takes us, he can put down more mist, and because there's mist on our ship, he can bring us back to the ship. Okay. All right. Well, then I have no qualms with going to Tielenrune. I guess I should tell Artemis and Zachary that we'll be leaving.
You head to the back of the ship, and you find Artemis and Zachary enjoying some cheese and bacon scones at a table together.
Hey, you two. Interesting news. We have to take a trip to Tielenrune. I'm thinking of leaving the ship up here, unless you'd like us to drop you off or tell the ship to go somewhere else. We're just kind of above the scorched wastes right now. I don't know how long we'll be gone. Hopefully not too long, but I don't know. And there's also a shade trying to get us to go somewhere else, so we might be on another adventure quickly after that one. So, yeah.
Artemis says, well, I've got plenty to do here. I'm trying to make plenty of ammunition for the war, plenty of that shock ammunition. And on top of that, I have a few other theories I want to test out that I've been working on. No spoilers, though.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to, well, first of all, let you know that we're leaving. And second, is there somewhere you want me to tell the Tempest to take you? Or are you fine hanging out above the scorched wastes?
Over No Man's Land would be nice. That way we can easily meet up with Artemis, or not Artemis, Oliver.
Oliver.
God damn it, I keep confusing those names. That way we can easily meet up with Oliver and August if we need to.
Okay. I will tell the Tempest that if you knock on the floorboards in this manner, that it will message me in the book that you need to speak to me, and we can communicate through Morse code.
Okay. He says, bizarre. I like it.
Okay, great. I guess we'll be off. Take care of my ship. I tell the Tempest to go hang out above No Man's Land, and that we will be creating a portal and leaving.
You do so, and the whole ship moves as it starts heading toward No Man's Land.
All right, ladies. Helga, are you done with your peonies?
She actually walks up to Artemis and hands him a little letter and that pressed peony, and she says, when if you see August again, could you send this to, and she's like really red in the face, she says, Elizabeth Hawthorne. And he says, sure.
Lisa's just like, all right.
And he pockets it.
All right, ladies, let's go get that bread.
You drop, where do you want to drop this mist at? Like in the captain's quarters?
Yeah, probably the captain's quarters.
Okay. You drop this mist down. Yeah, as this mist is spilling out of Foxbud's body, you notice something different this time. He's not becoming transparent as he does so. It seems like he's not compromising his own form anymore in order to place mist. He's just generating it. Foxbud no longer needs to sacrifice half his HP. He just, once per day, can drop down some mist.
Hell yeah. Nice. Good job, Foxbud.
And he notices that he's doing that, and he starts like panting happily and like paws at your leg, like, look, do you see what I'm doing?
Good job. I give him a bunch of bacon strips.
How many? This is the most important stat for us to track.
Everyone
wants to know.
I said that he was eating a bunch in my backpack while we were in.
He ate 20.
Okay, I don't have 20 left.
How many do you have left?
15.
He ate 14.
Oh, all right. I give him the last one. You ate 14.
All he hears is your voice going high, and he still thinks he's getting praised, and he hops around happily, running around in circles.
Foxbud! God damn it! All right, fine. Cassandra, will you write down on the grocery list that we have to get him some more bacon strips?
Yeah, she pulls out your shared grocery list and writes bacon strips right below bread.
Yeah, bread in big bold letters. Yep, fantastic. All right, let's go. We all hold hands and hang on to Foxbud.
You all kind of follow Foxbud through the mists. And they creep up around you, surrounding you. Your cabin disappears, and you reappear in the forest at the edge of the Whispering Wood. And you find yourself exiting the Whispering Wood onto the path of the Fair Kasir Kingdom. And as you do, you hear a loud crowd in the distance. You're by that bridge that connects the two land masses.
Oh, can you bring up the Tialenrun map so I can see?
Sure. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
There you go.
Okay. All right, ladies. Fuck.
It sounds quite distant. But if you head down that path, you can hear that like the city sounds like unstable right now. Like people are shouting. Do you approach?
I'm gonna use my my glamour.
Okay.
And try to, let's see, I have my regular outfit, I have Ace's dad outfit, Artemis' outfit, Carmela demeanor. I'm gonna change back into my other outfit that I had on just because it's more elvish and I'm trying to blend in. But I think I put my hood up.
Okay. You glamour yourself. As you approach, you can see as you like kind of like walk into like the main city area, you hear like tons of elves shouting angrily in the streets. And you hear them saying things to the effect of Lyra and Loomis unfit! Lyra and Loomis unfit!
She's like, yeah, I could get behind this.
Angrily shouting about the queen's Lyra and Loomis Avafane. This is clearly some kind of protest. And then he appears. Bedlam.
Oh.
And he says, Lise! Oh! I just checked in on Varric.
Uh-oh.
He was just through here a little while ago.
Oh, shit. I start running.